Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Stand-up comedian and Big Brother superfan Joleen Lunzer here for a very special episode of the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. A lot of you are here, and you know that we have a very special guest, and I cannot wait to talk to her, and I'm going to bring her up in just a second. But first, we have to start the show the only way we know how. Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. Welcome to the BB Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. Hello, everybody. Smash that like if you haven't already. You guys, let's get the likes up. Let's get 1,000 likes for Angela. Okay. Also, we're on our way to 50K subscribers. So share this channel out with your friends, family, enemies, pets. Start some sock accounts. Let's get there. Okay. Yeah, if you want to support the channel further, you can always consider joining a membership, Patreon, send a super chat. Hopefully we can get to some questions at the end of this live, but let me play the intro and then I'm going to bring in our special guest. So let's get this party started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold, but don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
All right. Hopefully you smash that like. You guys sound off in the live chat about all your hopes, thoughts, dreams, and opinions about what we're going to be talking about today. Before we bring the BB Queen, Angelamurray, who is our special guest today, we're going to be talking about BB27, BB26, all of the things. Let's just play a couple of the iconic Angela clips while she's backstage and to just set the mood, get the party started as we get those likes up, you guys. All right, here we go.
This is Big Brother.
Not take
He
that.
used
use
that
it to
as an
manipulate.
advantage against my ass. Come on. I am wise beyond, okay?
Hi, Julie. Please cast your vote to evict. I'm sorry, Chemo. I don't have the numbers to keep you. My vote is to evict Chemo.
Grandbabies, now I need you to send your special hugs and kisses to me because I believe I can.
I am a mother to a fault. Chuck, I miss you so bad. Thank you. Chuck, I miss you so bad.
If you buy her one margarita, she will spread her legs. Give me one margarita, I'ma open my legs. Give me two margaritas, I'ma give you some head. Give me three margaritas, I'ma put it in my pussy. Give me four margaritas, I'ma put it in my dick. Give me five margaritas, I'ma give it.
All right. Without further ado, you guys, welcome to the BB Breakdown with Joleen. Angela.
Hey.
Hello. How
Hi,
are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I am great. You probably I have the most sound effects in my backstage for you and Mama Fee.
Oh my God, I'm so entertained by you, girl. That's so awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for everything. Like, yes, I love it. I love it all. Thank you.
Well, we are so happy you're here, and I want to talk about, what's going on in your life right now. I want to talk about BB27 because I know you're plugged in and watching because you're an actual fan of the show. They got cast on the show, which is kind of a novel idea in these days where people are like, oh, I wanted to be on Survivor. Or I wanted to, you know what I mean? You get a lot of people are like, I just want to get to the challenge.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Yes. Okay. So tell me, how has everything been since your iconic run on BB26?
It's been great, Jolene. I've been home now. Gosh, I can't believe it's almost been a year, but truly I've just been soaking in my family. A lot of really fun opportunities have presented themselves. Like I recently went on this really fun cruise with other Big Brother contestants, past guests. So much fun getting to meet some of the icons, the reason why I wanted to go on Big Brother, like Janelle and Rachel and Brittany, like, oh my gosh. And Kaser was there. So many people were there. So it's like, how am I having access to these people and I get to rub shoulders with them? Like, it's amazing. Life is just amazing. And I think for one thing that I did learn being in the Big Brother house is like, I knew when I got out, I wasn't going to take even the slow days, I wasn't going to take anything for granted. I was really going to appreciate every single day, even the slow ones. So lots of things have happened and I'm just really excited about life.
I love that. And I think that's what people really liked about you and what resonated with us is you were someone who was so grateful to be on Big Brother. And I hate to use that
Yeah.
word given BB21 and the Grateful Alliance, if you remember those days. But you are, we see so many players who are like, I just want to make it to jury. I don't really care. But you were that player that really wanted to be there and
Jolene,
was
I
not.
really wanted to be there.
You really wanted to be there. And you brought this like wonderful chaotic energy. And you and Tucker were just the season's entertainment. And I think we are noticing it more than ever watching BB27, how much you and like the Tuckers and, a lot of people in your cast are missed because it was such a great season.
Well, I'm a fan. I wouldn't proclaim a super fan because I'm not like Quinn or Joseph where they can tell you literally on cue what game was played back 5 years ago, who won it, who didn't. I mean, I couldn't do that for you. It's my guilty pleasure of reality TV. I love it. But what I can tell you is that every moment being there, being accepted to get to be there was huge for me. And I know that 30, 40,000, maybe even more now, applicants apply. So I'm very lucky and I do feel very, very blessed. But what I will tell you is that as a fan of the show, and I'm not being biased, I really do feel there was a special ingredient in casting for last year with our season. It was amazing. And I'm talking I know a lot of people think, oh yeah, right, Angela, but literally every single person, everyone was so special and so vital to making epic entertainment, a wonderful season. Like it couldn't have gone any other way. It had to be everybody, it just had to be.
Yes.
So
it was
so there for it.
You're right. It was like a great mixture of people and personalities and a great mixture of people, some people who knew a little bit more about the game, some people who didn't know enough about the game. I mean, you had Lisa putting glitter on people's food. It was just like iconic. Now, speaking of your season and you're a year out, and I always wonder this when, it's been some time since you've been on the show, like what are the relationships like with your former house guests and who are like some of your favorites? Who are you talking to? Anybody you don't talk to? I mean, tell us all, Angela, tell us everything.
Well, I don't think our season's any different from any other of the seasons, in the past. And it won't be any different from any of the seasons moving forward. You're going to have those that you bond with, and you're going to have those that you just don't. And that's why we freaking love Big Brother, because it's juicy. And there are people that just rub each other the wrong way. They cast for that reason. And so for that reason, I do have people that I interact with, routinely. Like I totally love my Leah. Tucker and I are great. Joseph is amazing. Quinn and I are on the up again, believe it or not.
How did that happen?
No, we were on that Big Brother post-game cruise and, we just kind of sat down and got really real with each other and told each other kind of how we were feeling when the cameras are off. And I think it went really, really well. And I think he really is very special. He's a very nice guy, but I think he was just amplifying things a bit much for me on after the game. And the thing that kind of sticks out to me, and it bothers a little bit, but it's like, I didn't give everybody in the house access to me. Not everybody knew who I was, and not everybody wanted to have access to who I am. I barely even had maybe 3-4 conversations with some of the people, which is really hard to believe in such tight quarters to only interact with people on a very surface level. So I didn't give a lot of people access to who Angela was. They don't know me outside of the house. The people that I've carried into my outside of the house life are probably half the cast, not more than that. And I'm okay with that. I really am. I feel lucky that I even left with that. And I'll leave it at that. But I haven't talked to, I don't know. I told you half. Matt is one I haven't spoke to since finale night. We had a finale party at Blue's Roof Blue from the previous year. She had a party for us. It was so fun. And Matt was coming up to me, talking to me about doing, what is that called? TikTok battles.
I love that you call it TikTok.
Battle is. I'm 51. I'm almost 52 now, but I didn't know a TikTok battle. What the hell is that? And I was like, what is that? And he started to describe it to me. He's like, look at, you know, you and I, we could do TikTok battles together and we can make a lot of money. And I'm like, I'm not interested in that. It doesn't sound like something I would want to do. I barely do lives. It's kind of, you know, foreign to me. And he's like, I can help you with your social media, get your numbers up, and we could battle. It'd be great. And I was like, no, I don't think I want to. I was being really nice, but I'm like, no, I don't think I want to do something like that, Matt. I'm sorry. He wasn't taking no for an answer, but that was it. I wasn't going to do those TikTok battles. I don't have any interest in that. I've watched it since, what battles mean, and no, that would not have been for me. But that is really the last time that I saw or spoke to Matt, was he was trying to get me to do that.
And that's the first time he sees you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously he said, you know, at finale night on the stage, the things that we talked, that were, you know, said or whatever, but that was really clearly the only, I mean, he loved meeting my kids and stuff, but that was all he was pushing for when we were at the finale party. And I was like, dude, no, I don't want to do TikTok battles with you. But it's so funny to me that now I'm like public enemy number one, when he wanted to make money with me and help me with social media. So I'm confused. I'm very confused, but it's okay. It's whatever.
Well, I think it makes sense that he is going after you now because you didn't do what he wanted. And the clout chase is real with Matt. Let's be real. I was talking to Angela just a little bit before we started, you guys. And over here, I think a lot of the people that watch my channel, we thank you every day for getting rid of Matt first. I don't think I could have dealt with a season of Matt. We've seen the Matt archetype before. We saw how he moved. We've seen how he's kind of, you know, taken to turn himself into some kind of victim, or that he was bullied, and it's cringe, which makes sense why he wants to do the TikTok battles, because those two are cringe. And so that doesn't surprise me. And this is just, you know, my opinion. I'm not saying this, you know, Angela has her opinion. These are my opinions, but I think it makes sense why he attacks you, because it's his only point of relevance other than dating MJ.
Right. I mean, I would say I would have to agree with pretty much that, but and I don't fault him for it. Like, you know, if it's making him money, like, go ahead. I want him to make money. I want him to have a happy life. But when you say like, you know, I appreciate the kudos for, you know, some people saying you got him out of the house or whatever. It would have been a hard season to watch. Definitely would not have lacked entertainment. But the point I'm trying to make is that I may have put him up on the block, but the House almost unanimously voted him out. I didn't have a say in it. If they wanted him to stay, he would have stayed, right? I mean, I just offered him up and the House got rid of him. They clearly saw that he was a threat, and, you know, he was very athletic and he probably could have won games. I don't understand the whole comp beast thing, because there were like 3 or 4 games he could have won and didn't. So I don't know if he's a comp beast or not, but no, I mean, this 51-year-old won several games.
Yeah, it is.
I'll leave it at that.
But I mean, Angela, you deserve it. Like, give Angela all of her flowers, because I think what is so interesting about Big Brother is you have, you know, I talk about this a lot, is you have so few older players. You know, I mean, I'm 45, you know, you're 50. We got Will in the house who's 50, and that in Big Brother years is damn near dead. And they don't give us many more of the older players. So I think a player like Matt comes in, you know, and this is just me speculating, but I think he comes in cocky, thinking, oh, okay, this chick. So I don't think your reads were wrong to be like, this dude doesn't want to play with me, because we see this happen every season of Big Brother, where the older players are kind of iced out, isolated, or seen as disposable. So I think that it was a big, just with me taking Psych 101 back in my college days, I think it was a hit to his ego that you were so beloved on the show. You got so far and you got his ass out. And I don't think, you know, he's been able to fully process that because he just keeps being all emo in his feelings on TikTok. And that's got to be annoying for you to see this guy constantly with your name in his mouth. And I really never see you talk about him like that.
No, I'll be completely honest and forward with you and everybody else. This will be the first that anyone's ever heard it outside of my family. Is we got wind of some of the videos that he's been making in his podcast or whatever, and I was sitting in the living room with my husband. I'll never forget, and he's sitting across from me, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" Like he knows you have a family. He knows you have grandkids. He knows that you have a life. You have all these things going on. You know, he can go ahead and put it whatever he wants to out there. But I was sitting back going, oh my God, Chuck, do you think I should call him? Like, I have his number. Should I call him and be like, I don't want to hurt. I don't want you hurting. Like, I don't want him going through his life, feeling emotional or having this baggage or having this weight on his shoulders of like this old woman, like, you know, freaking out or whatever on him. And big freaking brother, by the way, had that been a man and a man going at it, it would have been such a vanilla villain. But anyway, it was me, an older woman, and he was this younger guy, and he didn't have anything to say back. And so I think everyone was all taken back that I even did that. But anyhow, I was really feeling like in my living room, my daughter was standing up about to leave, and she's like, oh my gosh, Mom, you are not calling him because he's doing this because he needs to do this. He only had short amount of time on the show, and he needs to do that. And so therefore I forgive it. I'm like, whatever, then let him do life and do what he needs to do. Maybe it isn't real. Maybe he isn't hurt by it. Maybe he isn't needing like me to come to him and say, what can we do to work this out? I don't know. But when he came to me on finale night and said he forgave me, he never gave me an opportunity to even have, without cameras, like have an opportunity to discuss with him how I felt and the things that were said in the HOH room that were obviously they cannot, I'll say this too, they cannot put everything that happens in the Big Brother house on live feeds. They cut them, as you know, they cut them a lot because they want to use footage for the show. And then some of that footage can't carry on to the show. This is just my opinion. Can't carry on to the show because there's not enough time. And so things are just left on the cutting room floor, would be my opinion. And so everything that was said in the HOH room was not on live feeds and unfortunately was not on the show. So there's a lot of gray area and there's a lot of things I feel like he could apologize to me for and things that got me fired up. So, I mean, you're messing with a postmenopausal woman in her 50s who has her dream to be there. And I'm feeling like it's going to be ripped from me next week, you know, and that house perception is everything, Joleen. And when I watched you say it's hard, it's everyone's saying it's hard. It really is. But you sign up for that and you know that it's Big freaking Brother. And so you go into it knowing that, and you have to make hard decisions and you have to do hard things. And you're going to freak out sometimes. Some people can internalize it and hold it in and handle themselves better. I can name many people. And then I can name a lot of people like me that are more of an emotional player. And even though I wanted to go in and be more strategic, I had my moments, but I would consider myself an emotional player. I never thought in a million years I'd cry that much. And sometimes I tried to fake those tears. And these ducks were just dried up. They were not going to cry any freaking more. But the house just makes you go cuckoo. It just does.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like, you know, it made for a beautiful disaster. It made for great TV. Was I trying to be theatrical? Was I trying to make great TV like some people may think? No, I was fighting for my life. Joleen, I didn't understand what live feeds completely were, girl, until this year. I had no idea. I really didn't know. I didn't think that everything would be seen. I didn't know. So I'd have a lot of moments, and those moments were raw and real. And I think that it made for really good, authentic entertainment for people watching at home. And I'm happy to have entertained people because I am somebody that I wanted to see on Big Brother. You know, I sit back and watch vicariously all the time. And I am in my 50s now. And I'm like, I want my opportunity. I want to see somebody like me, my size, my style, my energy, my cuckoo, my everything. I want to see somebody like me there. And I'm so, so thankful to the casting, to Big Brother for recognizing that I would be somebody to I don't know, like an opponent, like a worthy opponent.
Yes.
Young people on Big Brother. I was arguably the oldest person there most of the time that I was there 73 days. And, you know, I'm watching this season though, and I'm watching Will. He was struggling, having a hard time a couple weeks back. And I watched him, you know, talk about it with the house guests outside in the backyard. And he asked Rachel, like, how do you do it? How are you getting along? You make it look so easy, really. And she said to him, ask questions, you know,
Yes.
you have to get to know these people. And I think he really did that was solid advice from Rachel. And I feel as I'm watching him progress through the show that he's actually doing that. And I'm seeing him being in a very isolated, very good position. And I'm excited for him. Okay, I want to go back to a little bit. Sorry, am I going because I do that?
No, Angela, this is all about you. So I just want to hear your perspective. We've been waiting to hear from you, and I am so glad to get to connect. So sound off.
So I want to just touch on what you said a few minutes ago when you're like, there's not a lot of older people. And that's why I kind of brought up, I was really happy that somebody like me was on the TV. It gives hope for people my age. And I get a lot of DMs and people coming to me and saying, oh girl, you did it for the 50s, like in the 60s. Thank you so much for getting out there and doing that. But I think, and this is just my opinion, anything I say is my opinion, by the way, that maybe it's harder to, and I have an understanding of this, to cast people that are in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s. And the reason why I think that is because, you know, younger people don't already have established careers necessarily, and families and children and grandchildren and all of these obligations outside of the house. That's what distractions on the outside. So as I can speak for myself, being in my 50s, I had a husband at home, a grandbaby that was just born. You know, a lot of life things are going on that I have no access to or control to know if everybody's okay or what's going on. And just so much that I'm missing my household, like all these things, my job. And so I think that's maybe why people of my age don't always apply, because we do have so much, you know,
Yes.
where some people can just pack up their stuff and drop it off at mom and dad's or into a storage unit and then rent an apartment when they get back out. It's not like that for people of our age. So therefore, that's why I think there aren't a lot of us. And that's just my opinion of what I was experiencing in there. So that might put some insight for you guys with that.
Yeah, I think that makes so much sense, because we do tend to see our reality TV be younger people because they are at a point in their life where they're just kind of like figuring it out. And in the point you're in your 30s and your 40s and definitely 50s, you know, like you said, you got the mortgages, you got the families, you got grandkids, you got spouses, you have real life responsibilities. And that was the thing with Danielle Reyes, I think, coming back for the All Stars. I call it I mean, the Small Stars, it wasn't the greatest, but during the pandemic, is that, you know, she was like, there better be, I think her big thing was to leave her position. It would have to be a good amount of money. And maybe even when you bring people back like that, less time, because maybe like a reindeer games type time, or like the time of like Celebrity Big Brother, where it's like a month, because you have people who have careers and things. But then when you're young, like you said, you know, a lot of this cast is like 22, 23. So they're just like, oh, my roommates, I put my stuff in storage, like, you know, and my
college
mom and
is really great.
Yeah, the college, they just have maybe they're paying their car payment and some insurance, and that's about it. So it's very different. But I do see every season, having watched every season of Big Brother, the older house guests have the same struggle, and they need to have the peers around them. And that's why, you know, this season with Rachel, she loved having Amy, even though Amy, you know, might not have been the biggest gamer or strategist. They had that mom bond.
Right.
You know, and Will, you know, similarly has that with a whole family and a wife at home. And so I think the older players would do better if they had more support from their own peer group, because you see the people around the same age hanging out. And I hear every person, older person, my age or older, come in and be like, nah, I got this, I'm cool. And it's like, no, but you're still 40 and they're 22. And remember when you were 22 and you would think of 40-year-olds, you're like, oh my God, there's like elderly, you know.
What's funny is you're saying, it was so funny while you're saying that, is like, I was so tempted to put Brooklyn up, and I was putting Kenny up. And so I was going to eliminate the older people right off the bat. So for me, I don't know what I was thinking, putting him up, you know, because you know, he was somebody that could almost possibly be a shield for me, but I never really felt a genuine connection with him. Even when we talked, our talks were very short. So I didn't really feel like Kenny and I were going to ever work together. So it made it easy for me to put him up. If I had felt any kind of genuine connection in those early days, I probably wouldn't have. But it's so funny that you say that, because here I am taking out somebody that's just a year older than myself, who would have been an absolute amazing shield, you know? And then, you know,
can I tell you why you probably did that? Is because Kenny did that thing, and we see a lot of the older men do this. We don't see it as much from the women that I could think of, but they're like, you'll see the men get into this game, and Kenny was one of those people. He related to Matt because I think Matt's dad was a cop or something. But also it's like these older guys, it's like they see their former young self in those younger guys. So like, I'm going to play with the young guys. It's like, no. So for you, it actually wasn't the worst option to put Kenny up, because he wasn't trying to play with you in the beginning. He wanted to play with Matt. And little did he know, Matt was like talking to him, but Matt was more interested in MJ and Leah and Tucker and the younger people. But I
tried to tell that man that.
Yes.
I'm going to keep Lisa over him. I told him, you're going to watch it back and you're going to see. But yeah, I know it. I know it, to be a fly on the wall. Yeah.
Yes. So I think it is this, you know, since there are more younger people, it's almost like you guys are all trying to fit in to what they're doing, just obviously because there's more of them. So you're like, oh shit, I need to, you know, get in with the hello, fellow children, you know, kind of like, what are you doing? But if there were more, if it was more equitable age wise, I think, and it wasn't as difficult for people to be able to, you know, get away from their jobs and careers and families. I think we would see more older contestants getting farther in the game. So the fact that you got through 73 days, Angela, like that is amazing.
It
and
is.
You deserve all the flowers for that.
My husband's like, girl, when you go, well, first of all, he didn't think I'd get cast. Sorry, I can't say casted because that's not a word. I got in trouble for that, by the way. They came for me for that.
Really?
They did. They so did, because I gave an update and I said, casted? Oh my gosh, they came for me, Jolene. No, my husband was like, girl, you're never going to get on the show. You know, I just don't see it. You don't have the kind of story they're looking for. You're not in your 20s and hot and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, I am hot, by the way, for 52 now. I think I look damn good for that. But he just said, girl, you probably won't win very much. So you need to do this. This is his opinion before going in the house. You need to align yourself with somebody, the strong people, or you need to get the strong people out if you have any say in it. And so I did both. I was like, I could do both. You know, I aligned myself with strong people like Tucker and got out arguably a very strong player if the weeks, you know, had progressed for him. So I did both. And plus I freaking won. I won HOHs. I won a veto challenge. So I did pretty good. I shocked him. And that was amazing.
Yeah. What did Chuck say after saying like, there's no way, Angela, come on. When you came back, because Chuck, like you and I have talked about this, but Chuck was in, and people in the chat know, he was here all that season. And he was like, hi, I'm Angela's husband, Chuck. And he was like, under your YouTube account. And we're like, yeah, right. This dude's trolling us. There's no way this is Chuck. But then as time went on, we're like, we think this might be Chuck. And it was amazing having your husband in the chat. And we just loved. So shout out to Chuck. Shout out to your mother-in-law, Debbie. Yeah. Shout out to like your whole family. They were amazing. But what did your husband say after seeing you just be amazing and a queen and iconic on BB26? Did he say I was wrong?
Oh yeah. He ate those words, Jolene. He ate those words. We're out and about at Target, the grocery store, and people are running up to get a picture. He just sits back and he's got his arms like this. And he's like, yeah, that's my badass wife. Yeah. He's like he's my biggest fan. He's my biggest supporter. And he's amazing. I absolutely love him. A lot of people don't know this, and I didn't know while I was in the Big Brother house, but I felt it. I've been married to this man now. I mean, we're going on 34 years and we've been together since I was 15. But my husband was having an autoimmune disease happening to him in his bloodstream, and it was killing his kidneys. And so he's had kidney failure all last summer when I was gone. And he wouldn't tell anybody because he knew I'd come home. But he's doing okay now. He's on dialysis and he's soon to get a kidney next month. So, yeah, a
Good.
lot was happening at home. And, I know twins sometimes say they feel this, people that have a twin, like I can feel their emotion. I can feel when they're sad or when something's happened. I can just have this sixth sense. Also, as a mother, sometimes you have that of your children, but I definitely had that of my husband. And so I was feeling something was off, something was wrong, and I couldn't put my finger on it other than maybe I just really miss my family. And the truth is, I think it really was like my husband was going through some crap, and I felt it. I really did feel it. And I get home to him and he's not well. He was hospitalized for weeks after I got home. There's just a lot of things that happen. I got that man in check now. He is in order. His health is fine. And he is doing so much better. And I'm so thankful that he's going to have a transplant in September. So
Oh my God.
just amazing that's happening for him. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens and goes down when you don't have access to a phone or communication or anything. But there was definitely that pull for me. Anyway, that's part of probably why I was emotional in the house a lot is you feel that. And then just before I came in too, we had a Great Dane Zeus and we had him for almost 13 years. And I'm just going off on a tangent now, but we had to put him down. He had cancer. So I had that a week before going in the house. My grandbaby was born. I didn't get to hold him very much, but one time. And so anyway, there just was a lot, you get emotional. You just do.
And you do not have to tell me or apologize for crying to me. I'm an Aquarius. I like to cry. I'm ADHD. I'll get overwhelmed and I like to have a good cry sesh. I think it's healthy. Plus, I feel like there's a difference between when we see people in the Big Brother house and I'll be like, oh, we're crying again, more of like just like pity for themselves rather than, really going through some shit, and then we also liked, some of your fake tears, obviously, as well. But so when you went onto the season, you didn't know Chuck was having these health issues?
No.
Oh my God.
No, Chuck is diabetic. God, I'm airing out all his laundry.
Shout out to Chuck.
We kind of are open books anyway. I don't usually put that out there on the internet. I know we always put our best foot forward when we're online and stuff like that. But he's such a trooper, and he didn't even realize what was happening to himself. He just thought it was diabetes related. So no, I had no clue that he looked fine before I left. He was fine. And then he said shortly after I left, he started to feel, not so good. But he was hiding it pretty well to the family because our oldest is a doctor and she's over all the time, but she didn't know. He just said, I'm not having a good day or whatever from diabetes. So, but anyway, yeah.
Well, I think men too, and men of like, Gen X, Boomer, I think it's more like hiding that kind of stuff too, kind of like, no, I'm not gonna.
Are you kidding me? They're not going to the doctor's office. No, they're stubborn. They're stubborn. It's us stronger women that have to push them through the door to get them to do things,
Right. It wasn't until my husband recently became an ICU nurse that he after he finished his RN school, that he came home one day after learning all of the things that women go through and continue to go through with perimenopause, menopause, everything. And he's like, I am so sorry, Joleen. I'm like, thank you. Someone should be fucking apologizing to us.
Yeah, he's profoundly very grateful for you now, Joleen. That's awesome. That's great.
So we're gonna send all the good vibes, all the good stuff to Chuck, and so he's getting, you said, a transplant in September.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's crazy. I know, it's awesome.
Well, we love Chuck, and
a lot of stuff goes down, But he and I have been watching like live feeds of season 27, and it's really fun to like bond with him because he would not watch Big Brother with me. At all, really. He'd leave the room when I'd watch it previous to me going on. But now he's watching with me. We're bonding over it. My mother-in-law's watching it. My kids watch it. And none of them ever partake they never partaked in that before. And now they do. So I have people that I can talk about it with. My mother-in-law will come up and she's like, oh my gosh, can you believe that Riley is like so on to Kat? Like, I don't know if she likes him like that. I'm like, I know.
Angela, can we talk about this? Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the season. Let's first talk about Riley. Okay. Because right now we're going to see the episode tonight where Riley gets his HOH. Well, we already saw it taken because of Mickey using her power. Apparently we didn't see, but they've been talking on the feeds that he ended up, and we're going to see hopefully some of it, how they're not going to show us everything, but that he cussed out Mickey, and he has just been, I watched I'm plugged into the live feeds all summer. That's what I do. That's what we do over here on this channel. But he's creepy, right? Like, what's going on with what would you do if you were in a house with Riley? I have that question for you. And also, why are they keeping this man in the house?
Well, let me touch on this, and this is just my thoughts. Clearly, he has a thing for Kat. Clearly. But I think she's a strong enough woman that she realizes that he has been a shield for her in so many ways. And he's devoting his love to her, and she's devoting her love to tacos. But she's he's devoting his love for her. And he's telling her basically, like, I will put myself up for you, baby. If anything happens, like, I will go down for you, whatever. So she's got this guy who's willing to do that for her in the house, and not everybody's willing to do that for her. And I feel like she spent so much time with him now, she's almost kind of just paired up with him, and her relationship with Lauren isn't as strong, it appears anyway, because she spends so much time with Riley. And if she didn't want Riley with his hand up her back and like touching her arm and all this stuff, and now she does pull away, but if she didn't like any of that, why is she cuddling up to him? Like, you know what I'm saying? She's saying and acting one way, but at the same time, she's still hanging out with him. It doesn't make any sense, I think, to any of us. But that's my take, is that she just sees him as somebody that's going to protect her. I think she thinks he's going to win this. What do you call it, Jolene?
Oh, the BB butt blaster. I you love the BB butt blaster.
You're saying that, girl. But anyway, I think she thinks he's going to win it, and he very well might, and maybe the house guests won't get rid of him, but I don't know. And to me, I'm watching her when he's like confessing his love for her, basically. And all I see her doing is this. It just, no, nothing. She's not giving him anything back. So I'm just very confused. Is the feeling mutual? Is she afraid of a showmance in front of everybody? And if that's the case, then stop hanging out with him, because it's very clear that everyone's putting them together. So that's my take on that right now. Neither of them were my top contender that I thought would go far. And again, my opinion, I was really hoping, I don't know if people are going to come for me, but I was really hoping that Amy would go far, because I think she had a lot more to give, and she wasn't able to get there yet because she got out. Unfortunately, I think she would have brought us a lot of spice that I love in Big Brother. Some of these days are long and hard to watch when there's not a lot going on. I thought Keanu, but Keanu keeps getting put up, but we can see he can win things too. So I don't know. And I liked Jimmy a lot too in the beginning. I was like, oh, come on. I'm not saying I don't now. I'm just saying he has mellowed out. I think you'll agree with me. He was very theatrical when he came in hot, and just played it up for cameras a little too much. He and Kelly. And my opinion of that was, I think that right now they're just really trying to live up to the expectation. And, previous seasons in the past have just come in pretty hot sometimes, the whole,
Oh,
and
yes.
they felt they needed to do that maybe. And now I'm watching them mellow out, and they're not being so dramatic for cameras. I definitely went in there. I think a lot of us on my cast went in there, and we weren't thinking about the cameras. We weren't trying to play it up for TV. We really were just living in the moment and feeling all the feels and being how we were going to be and react the way we were going to react, and not put on airs and walk on eggshells for cameras. I feel like a lot of things were just so authentic. And I think that's what makes a really good season, is the authenticity of it. So,
because when you came down those stairs, we're like, Matt. I mean,
it's gonna be a party.
We were all like watching the feeds. I was like, oh my fucking God, this woman is amazing. Like,
she's crazy.
She's coming for this guy. I didn't even think you were crazy. Like, I really was like, yeah, he sucks. I just was not a fan out the gate, but it felt so authentic. Like, that was how you were having, you were already, paranoid, had lack of sleep. And then you have him up there making game threats, even though you guys are having a conversation where it seems like you're moving forward, but he's like, but then he's kind of throwing out a threat, like what he would have done. But it's like, I'm sorry, that's not great social play. And so then when you're running this stuff through your head in bed, it just felt so real. Where this season, I think I am really hoping Jimmy wins BB Butt Blaster, because I think this is such a weird season. And for many reasons we can talk about, but with Jimmy's, I feel like he's trying hard. Kelly too. Kelly wants to be the next Tucker. Well, there's not going to be another Tucker because we already had a Tucker.
Never
and
ever.
we need Tucker to almost go in the house briefly and go, knock it off. Like, please stop. And also, he might need a restraining order.
Yes, he would probably do it. Jolene, since we're on that subject one last time,
Yes.
I would love, and I've just thought of this, I don't know, maybe a month ago, but it's so funny. At least I think it's funny. So the whole Crazy Eyes thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were in sequester for 2 weeks, and we had little tiny video players with a screen like this big. And we had a booklet we could go through to kind of watch series, movies, whatever we wanted. We checked out as many as we wanted at a time. And I decided I was going to watch The Orange is the New Black. I don't know if you're familiar.
Oh, yes. I watched Orange is the New Black when it was out in real time.
You'll get this then.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that. And now at home, after I've watched that and I got home and I thought about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, did subconsciously I pull out Crazy Eyes from what they used to call Suzanne in Orange is the New Black? Because you know how she used her eyes all the time. I mean, they were really big. They get really, really big, especially when she was like lurking or she was intense about something she was saying. Her eyes would just get really big. We all have freaking crazy eyes at one point or another. We all do. And so maybe I pulled that subconsciously from watching the Orange is the New Black. But if you know Orange is the New Black, you know they called Suzanne Crazy Eyes. So that might be where I got that. And then when the word twit, before going into the Big Brother house too, I have a granddaughter, she's 9. We would watch Matilda. It's her favorite. And if you've watched Matilda, again, Miss Trunchbull says she calls the kids twits. And so I think that's where like it was in my brain, and it was something that was recent, and so that's probably how it kind of just came out, and it came out very organically and just very not trying to be a bully or anything like that, but just really just it's the intense eyes, it's the weirdness from the girl or whatever, and how she acts. Like it just became, it just was. And I feel
that
like
makes sense.
PG-13 thing that I could say on national television. So, that's where I think it came from.
The Crazy Eyes thing was crazy to me because some of the audience's reaction was like, you said something that was like a cancelable offense. And it was legit. This man walked around the house when he would have conversation with people like this. That is just what we know to be crazy eyes. Like when you do this, it's an intense, it's a crazy eyes. So it had nothing to do, we talked about this all. I mean, I feel like this was just like litigated so much on channels. And I also feel like in New School Big Brother, we're throwing around, even this season, we see Joseph saying, Rachel bullied me because she said she didn't like something he did in his HOH. We're using the term bully so loosely now. Just because someone says something you don't like, that does not a bully make. So the Crazy Eyes thing to me was never an issue. People would come in my chat, and have arguments with me about it. But to me, if you talk to me like this, like, yes, like Ramona from the Real Housewives of New York City, she's got crazy eyes. I don't know if you watch Housewives.
I do.
Yes. And when she modeled and she was like,
we all have that. We all have that moment where we're like, our eyes are going to bug out and we're going to be very exaggerated there. We all do. But if it were really, if he really felt that was bullying and all that, I don't understand why he and his mom pose like this, and then why he hashtags everything Crazy Eyes. I mean, if it is really bothersome and if it was really felt that it was a bullying situation, why do you capitalize on it like that? Why do you have fun with it? That doesn't make any sense. It's really contradicting. So therefore, that's why I kind of like understand when my daughter says, don't call, because it's just a profit-making situation at this point. It is not because he's affected by it, Mom. So maybe it hurt. Your
daughter is a genius.
But, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Egos.
performative, Angela. It doesn't hurt his feelings. I'm just going to say it straight out. It doesn't hurt his feelings. It's performative. He's using it as a clout chase. It's an opportunity. Like you said, he's cashing in on it, and it's getting tired and it's getting old, and he's going to have to do something else. Maybe go on the challenge. I don't know.
That'd
But
be great for him.
right, like do anything else than this,
Yeah.
because when you see him with it's kind of the same thing where Nicole Anthony's first season, everyone was like, yeah, Nicole. And then when she came back for All Stars, I think it was too soon after her first season, and she immediately made herself. I remember Janelle wanted to work with her, and I'm thinking, oh my God, you lucky girl. And she just like, she didn't believe that was happening, and she really painted herself after the season 2 to be like some kind of victim. And I'm like, victim of what? And she would post these cringy TikToks where she's like, this girl is on fire. And it feels like what Matt's doing now, where he's putting the sad music. People have sent me his podcast. They want me to roast it. I probably will. Where he's talking about, I went through some stuff. Sir, you did not. You were on a game show where you talked like this. A woman said you had crazy eyes. You got evicted first. Can we move on with our lives now? Like, that's just from what I'm saying, Angela. You don't have to say it, but I'll say it. It's nice of you to consider his feelings, but he doesn't have feelings about this. This is just, like you said, with the ticky-tacky and all the things he's doing. Okay, sir, you're trying to make money. You're trying to profit off it. Great. But just own that it's that, and it's not that you destroyed his life. Because if this destroys his life, God help him, because there's so many more things in life than being called crazy eyes by a BB icon and queen. Now, okay, call me crazy eyes. I don't give a shit.
Thank you, Joleen. Thank you. I mean, like I said, we all are crazy eyed at some point or another.
Yes.
It's I don't think he'd watched, because he's not a fan. I don't think he'd watched past seasons. If he had, then, it really is so vanilla compared to what has been in the past. And I know that as a fan. I know I'm no evil dick. I know that. I mean, I may not even equivalent a Josh, with the pots and the pans. Mm-hmm. I forget who it was screaming bitch up and down and waking up somebody all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
My gosh, yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yes,
Big Brother though. So I'm good with it. I'm just saying, I wasn't that, and I could have been. Test me. Like, I don't know what
I kind of wish you would have, because you were getting treated like you were doing that anyways. But a lot of us were having the conversation about how, oh my God, these people would not have lasted in any of the older Big Brother seasons. When you hear Rachel this season talk about what was said about her on her season, and how she was like slut shamed and all these things, and just the awful things that were said about her. And that was old school Big Brother, or even them being able to survive an evil dick. And I understand with time, we all progress as people, and less things are acceptable, and words that were used then aren't used now. But let's not go to this like super, way where it's like, she bullied me. No, sir, I say this about Vince this season. He wants to pretend Rachel's bullying him. I'm like, sir, you're not being bullied. You should be bullied. You're 35. You live at home. You twirl your mustache, and you're a juggler, and you're unemployed. Like, those are bullyable offenses, but you're not being bullied, and everyth's okay.
No, and he's going to be just fine.
It's going to be fine.
And I think they're singing in the house. Like, they are totally seeing it. And I'm glad that they're seeing it. They're not immune to what's going on there. They can clearly see everything. And I feel like, I really feel like he'll probably get put up on the block shortly, because they're seeing
Vince. You think so? Yeah. I hope so.
I do. I kind of think so. I think if he keeps playing his cards this way, we're going to see it.
If you were in the house with Vince and he tried to kind of finesse you, and you had, because I feel like you would have the ability to see like Rachel does, would you feign working with him? Like, how would you handle a player like Vince? Because it feels like right now, Vince and Zach and their social games, especially Zach's, they're going to blow through this season after Mickey has dropped the ball so hard this week with stealing Riley's HOH, only to put him up, only to say, you're not the target, and then attack one of her allies, being Jimmy. Which is insane. What would you do in this situation with a Vince and a Zach? Because we saw you take out a Matt, which arguably you could say Zach is the Matt. Now, side note, I know I got a lot of questions here.
Doppelganger, isn't he?
Do you? Yes.
And he hates me.
Where does Zach?
He hates me.
Why
Yeah,
is
he mentioned me several times. Like, he's like, I don't like Angela. And I think he said that, who did he say? Amy reminded him of me.
Yes, he
And so
did.
then he didn't like Amy. I'm like, dude, give her a chance. She's not me, you know? So I'm an emotional player. I play with emotion. And even if somebody were completely 100% honest with me, I'm going to think they're lying. Automatically, because it's Big Brother. I'm going to think that they're lying. I'm going to think that they're trying to sabotage me in some way and get me to trust them and then get me out, I don't know that I would believe. And I might just pretend like I did when they came into my HOH room talking about this alliance that they had, and I was like, oh, I'm part of it. Awesome. The
That
minute
was
they leave,
hilarious.
I'm like, they're coming for me. I know they're coming for me. It's just like,
That was so entertaining,
I
Angela.
was like, I can't believe how I was so crazily tired. And I truly believe that everybody was out to get me. I was like the wicked stepmother that needed to get out. So I probably wouldn't believe Vinny or anybody if they said they were working with me. I tend to believe women more than I would believe men. I don't know why. I don't know why that is, but I believed women more in my season than I did the men. And I wish that I had not done that. And I think I learned a lesson. I think if I ever got an opportunity to play any type of game, it would be to try and figure out who they are and try to see through the smoke and just, play it out. It's probably best to play out that you trust than to immediately say, whoa, I'm calling you out. You're low freaking budget. Like, it's better if I had just not even mentioned them, but I played with emotions. So I think even if I were to be asked back to play, I would probably still play with emotion, and I probably still would never hold back because that's just who I am. In fact, when I was in the whole casting process, I did tell them, I am the girl that's in the room that will say what everybody else is thinking, but out loud. And I have no filter. It's very difficult for me to do that. I grew up in a very diverse situation. Adversity was a big part of my life. I did have to fight for like even little things like food, like little things I had to fight for. We grew up very, very, very poor. And so I've always been a scrapper and a fighter and I've always been a hustler. And I told them all of those things. And I said, I don't know what that's going to look like out on, in the Big Brother house, but give me a chance because you've never had anybody like Angelamurray and you never, ever freaking will unless you bring me back. They never will. They never will. And I would probably play much the same. I couldn't say that I would be generic or hide how I feel. I'm just very open and honest and live in the moments. And I do that in my everyday life too. I do have a bit of a filter though when it comes to work. So
Of course.
I like everybody I work with. So I can get in my car and that's where I turn on my music and I'm ranting, So
Yes.
there's a time and a place, but when you're in the Big Brother house, that is the time and that is the place.
Yes, and it is Big Brother. And that's why, I think it would be if they do another All Stars, which I hope they do. What I would love to, obviously, they have to have you back, Angela, but to see like you and Mama Fee, to see Felicia and you together in a house, like who, if you could pick right now, would be like some of the people you would love to play All Stars with if you were asked back for an All Star season?
Oh, you already named her, Mama Fee for sure. I love, love, love Cirie, and seeing those two iconic women on Big Brother. I've already had been following Cirie from Survivor because I love Survivor too. And so watching her play and Mama Fee together and watching their bonding and then some of the fighting too, it was very, very exciting. It made for really great TV. I would love, love, love to play with both of them. And I've talked to Janelle about it, and she goes, I can't go back again. I just can't because they want to just get me out immediately because they know I can win games. And she's right. It's sad that, it would really have to be some top tier people that all get involved so that Janelle would not automatically be a target. But yeah, right there, I think Mama Fee would be so much fun to play with. And I think she's remarkable. And Cirie, love, 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 love. And now that I'm just even like having my dream cast and putting that out there, for me, getting the opportunity to be on Big Brother it's oddly opened up doors to access to some of these people that I only could watch from my TV. And now I mean, when I got out of the Big Brother house, I'm talking to big names in my eyes, big names that are on
Yes.
Survivor, Amazing Race, Big Brother. And how do I, Angela, sitting at home in the middle of rural Utah, because I'm not in actually Salt Lake City. I'm in rural Utah in a little farm town. How do I have access to these people that I've idolized and watched vicariously live my dream on, television? And here I am having phone conversations, DMs with them, and meeting them at events. It blows my mind, Joleen, that I have that kind of access, because I'm like, how did my life in my 50s, freaking 50s, how did this happen to me? And the only thing that I can ever say, because I do those cameo things,
Yeah.
I love freaking doing those, by the way. They are so much fun. Some of the requests that I get, Jolene, are hilarious, like telling off an ex.
Oh, I would love that.
Their mother, roasting their dad, just, anything, just giving them, insight to Big Brother. It's been so much fun. Anyway, what was I saying? Gosh darn it.
Oh, we were talking about your ideal cast and in your 50s.
Yes. But here's the point, because I say this sometimes on a cameo, is that even at 50 and up, life is still happening. It really is. And I don't think that we should put dreams. There should not be deadlines. There should not be expiration dates on dreams. I think that at any age, if you really, really, really want something, if you go after it and you believe in yourself and you manifest it and you're doing all the steps it takes to get there, there is no reason in this world we should be held back. We should be able to accomplish anything we want and go after it. And if it's not meant for us, we just have to accept that. But in my case, I felt it to my core, in my bloodstream, to my bones, that I belonged on Big Freaking Brother. And yes, I made my mark. It isn't just the first 2 weeks. I think it was everything. It was watching an accumulation of just all the relationships that were unfolding and that I was having, and just watching myself win something I was genuine, and I was excited, maybe too excited for the house guests, and then getting to live this fantasy, this dream of being in Big Brother at my age. It's an moment for me. And I'm gonna say it again. I'm a lucky woman that I got to do that. And if I can influence anybody that's in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, I don't even care if it's their freaking 80s.
Right?
Like, live your life. Your life is not a rehearsal. We don't get a do-over. Make every day count. Like I was telling you earlier, even on my lazy days, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I do something meaningful every single day, because it's my life and I'm taking it. Like, I'm taking it for the ride, I really am. So I will always praise CBS, Big Brother, casting producers for believing in this 50-year-old woman and giving me a shot, because they've opened doors
that.
I never thought were possible. So, and they provide us a great show. Whether we think this cast of season 27 is giving us everything we want right now, they probably will. We just need to write it out. We're so early in the game. We're so early. And I believe that they will get even more comfortable, and that they will really shine and give us some iconic moments. And I am so ready for it. So ready for it. Along with you, by watching your podcast, and because I can't watch the live feeds every minute. I know you've got it in the background. It's your job. It's what you do. So I get to experience all of that in a breakdown, which I love. And it is in a shorter amount of time. And it really is the highlights, because let's be honest too, like the feeds right now aren't giving us a ton just yet, So when you break down the good stuff, it's like, okay, I'm fulfilled. I've got it. I'm caught up,
Yeah. Well, there's just so many great BB recappers out there. And you can tune into, channels, whether they have 100,000 or, I just discovered a channel, and I'm going to do a separate shout out video that I had been subscribed to. And there's this woman, and she is so freaking funny. And she's got maybe 3,000 followers, but I just want to get her all the followers, because she is just giving those real takes. And then you have the Terrans who go live every day. And it's that thing, on Rob Has a Podcast, you look forward to when Terran's voice is done, you're like, oh, the season's over. This sucks, So I appreciate you shouting out recappers. But what I want to say about you, and I think maybe younger viewers won't relate to this as much, but I think you saying and just being yourself, and when we see older women on television, it shouldn't be such a novel idea, but a lot of times it is. And me just, having dipped my foot into the industry and being a comedian and, some acting things, it really is, as you get older, I think in society, even if you're just, just living your life as women, we're kind of told we have an expiration date and that our dreams should stop and our beauty stops and our worth stops and the attention we get stops. And we're kind of dead to the world. And that same standard isn't held to men. So to see women like Angela, like yourself, being on television, being themselves, living out their dreams, and say, I still got more fucking dreams, because it's not over. And I think that's an important message that our media misses so much, because they want to literally, go, oh, I mean, the oldest woman we had on the cast right now, it's Rachel, who's 40. Before that, it was Amy, who's 43, which is a baby. That is not an old person. 50 is not old. Back in the days when we had like Jerry, how old was Jerry in BB10? He was like in his 70s. So I think we need to see more older women on television. And to me, it's empowering, as a 45-year-old woman, because I already feel it's just like a societal thing where you just feel kind of tossed aside. So to hear you say, no, your dreams, they're never over. You're always going, you're always thriving, you're always flourishing, you're always learning, you're always experiencing. I think that was another reason that a lot of people and women related to you and wanted to see you shine in that group of, fetuses. We really wanted to cheer for you.
Oh God, that's hilarious.
It.
You know what it is? I think too, like after you've kind of approached age 40, you kind of start to really know who you are. Some women experience it much sooner. For me, it was probably, around that time. And I just really started to get more comfortable in my skin. I don't think I was built or made to be a size 2. I'm built to be a size 12, 14. And that's just my life. That's who Angela is. I am in my 50s now, and I'm just more comfortable of who I am. And quite frankly, don't give a F about, what it's going to look like on television. I know what that was about. And I know that, and I'm not a seasoned television person like a lot of people think that I am. I just knew what I needed to do to get on certain game shows, and I did it, like those game time television shows, because I'm comfortable enough to let the crazy out when it's appropriate. I think that, read the room. It's what you need to do to get on some of those daytime, shows or whatever. And as far as Big Brother goes, I knew that going in there, I don't have much of a filter, and I was going to play it authentically to how the feels were coming. Again, being comfortable with who I am and not worried about what the outside world was going to think of it. So I think a woman or a man at our ages, we start getting older, you just know who you are, and you're not afraid to show it because you've been through it all. You've had the life experience and all of that. So I think it was the best time, because my husband said, could you imagine if you had gone when you were younger, you would have killed it. I said, Chuck, I think I killed it anyway.
Yep.
I know who I am. I might have been a little more reserved when I was in my 30s. And now that I'm in my 50s, I feel like I have more energy than I ever did before. And I have more opportunities than I ever thought possible. And so I'm still I'm like that little train engine that could, I can't wait to keep going. I just want to do so much more. It's really opened up this excitement in me that I want to do so much more. I have my sights set on so many things and projects that I cannot wait for them to actually happen for me, because I'm going to make it happen.
We need you on Traders, Angela. You need to get in talks. If you're not already, let's get you on Traders. Now, what about, I know there is Big Brother Survivor crossover. Would you be interested in doing Survivor?
Funny thing is my casting agent, Jesse Tannenbaum, he's amazing, by the way. If anybody doesn't follow him, they should, because he's so fun. And he's so easy to look at too. He's so cute. But handsome. Isn't he so cute? He's amazing. And he won an award for, casting. He's just for producing. He's amazing. But anyway, okay. What was that question, Jolene? See, also my
Survivor. No, I get it, because I'm going through perimenopause, so I have brain fog on the regular.
This is why I brought him up. Is that I used to DM him a lot, and we were not friends on social media. And I would DM him all the time after watching Survivor or something. Now, I thought I could go on Survivor because it's 29, 30 days. No biggie. I can walk away from my life with everything that's been going on all, at that time. So I thought Big Brother is 3 months. Oh my gosh, if I were to make it that long, could I be away from home that long? So I wasn't trying for Big Brother up until like maybe 5 years ago, but I was trying for Survivor prior to that. And so I was DMing Jesse all the time. And oh my gosh, this man out of the blue calls me up and he said, "Hey," I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I just went through all your DMs in my Instagram." And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed." But it was a lot of like, "I'll light that fire on that island," like all this stuff,
Oh
like
my
give me
God, I love it.
opportunity. And so he's like, "Gosh, girl," like this was after I've already been on Big Brother. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so embarrassed, Jesse. I'm so sorry. I thought those things could just go away." But no, he knew way more about me than he needed to, and how my desire to be on Survivor. I would love to be on Survivor. I mean, I've watched both Big Brother and Survivor about the same length of time. As far as I've been watching since season 12, but I've gone back and watched a lot of the earlier years of Big Brother. So they're neck and neck. I've watched both. But I could imagine getting on that island and just having so much fun because there is nowhere to hide.
Oh my God, you would be amazing on Survivor.
I would be just like, oh God, what was his name? He would make
Tony hiding in the trees.
Yes, I'm climbing those trees, Jolene. I'm climbing those trees. I'm gonna bury myself in the sand. I'm gonna hide under the tent. Like I would know everything and I would have so much fun. I don't know that I could say anymore that games would not be something that I could win because you know what? I'm never going to doubt myself again. But I would say that my social game would, be a little cray-cray, but I think I would be fun and I think people would like to have me around. I think I would definitely, have some fun on that island.
Well, I think, and you just look at players like, iconic Survivor queens like Sari or like Sandra. You don't got to be winning shit. You just got to get in there, get the social, get the right people out, start running stuff.
Right.
And I believe now there was rumors, Angela, that you were going to be on the Salt Lake City Housewives. And as a Bravo super fan myself, I was like, yeah, put Angela on Housewives tomorrow. Then we saw a picture of you with like Whitney Rose and I don't know if there was Heather in that picture or was it just Whitney?
No, we called Heather that night actually, and we put her on FaceTime. It was fun. But no, at that particular picture and that dinner that's so circulating around online. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So are you friends with them? Like, is that, did you know them before or did you become friends after? Or, well, no, because the picture was before.
It's a little older. It's a couple years back. And I am friends with Whitney, but I'm not friends with anybody else.
Well, if that was something that was offered to you, would you?
I'm in contract right now with CBS for 2 years.
Oh yeah, you're in the Taylor contract. They love you. They want you.
Yeah, I can't do anything for 2 years, unfortunately.
I mean, that's great. Like, hopefully, CBS pulls you for other things, but that is like, let Angela free too.
Well, I'll just put it this way: you never know. Let time pass, and you never know.
Yes, you never know where we'll see you. But Salt Lake City is one of my favorite franchises, and I mean, you already have an in, so
I don't know. You never know.
We gotta get those. Know. Yeah, you never know. We don't want to, ruin anything you're under contract, and that's what you're doing. And I know that that was the thing with Taylor Hale. She was under contract for quite a bit. And we're like, when are you going to use Taylor again? Then they used her for reindeer games. And now she has that Unlocked show, which I haven't watched it. Have you watched it with Derek?
I saw part of it. I saw only a little clip of it, but I haven't watched it. I need to rewatch it and watch the whole thing. And I think it's coming on Friday too. So I'm excited to watch it. Let's just see what that's all about. I hope it is something that gives more insight. They said that we're going to see things that are left usually on the cutting room floor. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. Hopefully they give us some more tea and some more excitement for this season. So, and more insight is always needed. And I see that now that I watch the live feeds.
Yes. And I feel like
I don't know how I only watched the show and never live feeds before because you lose so much of the context.
You don't even know what's going on. If you are just a casual, I feel bad for the casuals because they are on a different planet, not knowing. Because the edit is so different and because there's so much on the feeds that happens and changes and dynamics. And I feel like when I watch episodes, I'm a week ahead. I still watch the episodes, but I'm like, oh no, that that's not really a thing anymore.
That's
Like when we
tripping
watch,
me up a bit. That's totally
yeah,
tripping me up a little bit because I already know who won the HOH or the veto challenge, or I
yep.
already know this. And then you're like taking a step back and you're like, oh, okay, it's not eviction night. So I really need to like remember that, you know, because I'm like, I'm already ahead of the game. Like, who are we evicting now? What's happening?
Mhm.
So yeah,
That's
I'm
why
with you. It's completely different for an
yep.
audience.
That's why I was glad with your season they added the AI arena. And I think now with the BB Butt Blaster, them bringing it back, it adds an element where, you know, before with Big Brother, especially, you know, as time goes on, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be there the whole time, but they, you know, it would get like, okay, the house has decided who's going Thursday. There's not much, but with this having to nom a third person and then having them having the opportunity to take themselves off, I feel like more conversations have to be had. Like, how did you feel, you know, having watched previous seasons, then going into a season with the AI arena? Did you wish that you didn't have the AI arena, or did you feel like it helped your game?
Oh, I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Mhm.
I had gone home early if that hadn't been a thing, you know.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's great. I hope they continue to use it. I think they saw that it makes for better TV because it gives somebody that extra opportunity to get themselves off. Even there's really not a backdoor situation so much anymore. I mean, yes, obviously you can put somebody there, but now they
Mhm.
have an opportunity to play a game to win themselves off. Whereas before, you don't win that veto, you're not getting another opportunity. So if you're going home, you're going home. So I love, love, love that. It is hard. I know you hate hearing that word right now, but it's so true. It's so true. They don't need to say it as much as they do, but it is difficult to have to put 3 people up there and then maybe a 4th. It is.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I think if it's done the right way and you don't waste it. Sometimes I feel like even in this season, I feel like Lawrence was a little wasted, a little
Mhm.
generic, putting up some of the same people. And I know that they even did that in my season because I was one of those ones that
Yep.
continued to be put up on the block because it was easy. She's already experienced it and she's already shot herself in the foot. She can just go ahead and go up there. Like it hurt most, I think, for me when Cedric put me up. But I knew that there was an opportunity that I could work my social game still and or win a veto and or the BB, but
Butt
whatever.
Blaster. Yes.
Yeah, girl. I'm just a tongue twister. There was opportunity there, so I think it's great. Do you know something that was so funny? I'm going to go off on a tangent here. When Leah and I were talking, and we were all fired up, and we were so mad about some of the things that were happening, you know, with Chelsea and MJ and the HOH room, and we knew that they were like, you know, together and they were solid. Leah said, if I win, like she was so mad because a lot of her allies were going home. She was like, if I win the next HOH, I'm just going to tell everybody. I'm going to do what that one player did. I forgot her name now, but I'm going to tell everybody, I already know what I'm doing. So I'm not having conversations and shut her HOH door. Just her and I will just be up there snacking and all her food. And I was like, please do that. Please do that.
Yes.
But unfortunately, it happened in Janky World. So we didn't get an opportunity to do that. And speaking of that, I mean, Leah had told me that the reason why she gave me the veto was because she wanted to think for herself. She didn't want to listen to her allies like Quinn begging her all night long, like, please don't give her the veto. Please don't give it to her. And that was one of the things that she had said to me after the fact. She's like, I want to be here from play my own game, which was so admirable anyway. And I don't want to listen to influence. I really want to make my own decision. And she was really like not having people tell her what she should do with her power. And so that's why she ultimately gave it to me, you know, is that she wanted to see what was best for her game. And so when she won the HOH out in Janky world, far be it from me to influence her and tell her who she needs to put on the block. And at that time, I was really feeling in my bones. She really should have we talked about it, about putting Chelsea up, but she thought it wasn't the right time. But it would have probably been the smarter move. And we probably would have gotten her out that night because we would have had the votes of the trio, which were T-Core, Rabina, and Chemo, to keep her against one of them, or, you know, or to whatever, however I did the math in my head, she would have gone home. But again, a beautiful season. Everything happens for a reason. I have no, like, yeah, we all have those shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but I didn't want to influence Leah in that way. And she wasn't ready to do that at that time, unfortunately, but you can't go back and change it. And I really do feel like everything did work out for the best. I mean, I'm not unhappy that Chelsea won. I think she was one that she didn't play an emotional game like I did, and so many of us do. She did play more of a strategic and thought 10 as much as you can ahead. It's an ever-changing game, but she still took the time to figure out who she aligned best with, who would insulate her. She won things. Here I'm giving her props, but I'm just saying, I don't want anyone to think that I'm bitter that she, that she won, and I'm not unhappy with the outcome at all. I'm fine with it. I'm just saying could have been like, that's why I didn't influence Leah, with that whole thing, because she had to have her own game and play her power the way that she wanted. And she did. And I think it's still, made for great TV, and it was a great game. And, I just don't want anyone to ever think I was bitter though in jury, because I just got out,
Yeah.
get out. I really wanted to see how much further I could go and see if I could maybe even be a final 3 at some point. But, there was all this, you just feel like this bitterness at the end of things, because it's like, you've gotten, I'll do an analogy, like you're getting ready for a wedding or a party or something really major in your life. And you put all this into it, like it's money, it's decorations, it's people invites, it's all the things, it's the expectation. And then when all that is over and you just sit back and you're like exhausted, you're like, imagine if the wedding never happened and the groom didn't show up. That's kind of how it felt to me. It's like all of this had built up. I went through all of this. It was 73 days hard, did it. And then it was over. And then the only thing you can reflect back on is the people that put you in that position. And so there is that bitterness and there is all of that. And I wish I didn't feel that, but I think it's human nature to feel it. Yeah. But in the end, I knew that Chelsea, I was playing all of the people, in my head of who was going to be the last 2 standing. And I played them up against each other. And I had my picks, if it had just been MJ and Cam, of course, MJ was getting my vote. If it had been, the 2 girls, of course, Chelsea was going to get my vote.
Yes.
It didn't matter that I didn't have necessarily a personal relationship with her in the house. She was the better overall player in the house, well-roundedly wise. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so that's why unanimously we all voted for her. And we all had our own choice. I could have voted for MJ, but I voted for who I thought rightfully so deserved it,
Yeah. And I think that
Go ahead, sorry.
that's everyone's always worried about, the bitter jury. But I think that just shows like, no, even if you two weren't able to get it together in the game to, work together, that doesn't mean you're not. I mean, it is a social game and you do have to, there are, when people say bitter jury, I'm like, well, sometimes people just don't do good jury management. So the person's not necessarily bitter. But I think a true fan would see that you can't vote MJ over Chelsea. That's just ridiculous. I mean, the fact that, Chelsea and her influence on MJ was so strong, and MJ to turn on Leah, that was a point when I was like, oh, damn, she's in deep. And then to want to take Chelsea to the end felt very Cody, Derek, BB16, like, but girl, you're going to lose, right? But I don't think she knew she was going to lose.
I don't think she did either. She did really, really well. Overall, if you look at it on paper, she did really well, winning a lot of competitions. I don't think anybody disliked her at all. I think she was a very likable person. And so I think she just felt like she had it. And I think she thought Leah and I would vote for her. But there's so much more to Big Brother. As a fan, as playing with these people, I remember being in the HOH room on lockdowns and watching other people, go to sleep or, we all talked personal stuff because it's in there where we can talk to each other and the cameras aren't on, and listen to music and all that while they're preparing for eviction night or whatever, or games. And I would watch Chelsea you could almost like see that her mind was working. Like she was working even when she shouldn't have been working. Her head, you could just almost tell like that woman was completely like strategizing, So I don't feel like she ever took downtime. I feel like she was always working. And so you have to give her props for that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Mackenzie voting out Leah and telling me the night before that she was going to do it, I have, like we all do, even winners have like that feeling of, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I'll go back to that again. That's probably the single most thing that I wish that I had conveyed to MJ is that why would you put somebody up who loves you, who wants to protect you, who who's on your side. You've got both of us. You've got me and you've got her. So now you've got the two of us here, and you've got Chelsea and Cam over here that have got your back. You're in such a great position right now. Why would you dispose of that? Like, why would you not pull me the heck off? Let me protect you. I mean, I love the girl. You know, I do. I do. I still do. I wish I had just told her, but in there, you just don't think very clearly. At least for me, I did not. I did not think clearly and rationally of what I could have done to save Leah. And I wish that's the single most biggest mistake I think I have made, is just not conveying to her, like, listen, we have your back. We love you. We want you to go far. We want to go far together. I could see it. I felt it. And then when she told me, it was a complete shocker. I shut down. I went to bed crying that night. Real tears, by the way. And I just was so mad. And I knew it was going to be close to my demise as well, because how can I stack up against these girls? I can't. Chemo and Rabina really weren't winning very much. They both each won one thing, I think, or Chemo won two things. But ultimately, it was going to be either Chelsea, Cam, or Mackenzie that were going to win a lot of things, you know, arguably so. And I just wish I had told her, just think about it. Like, you are in such a great position. You've got like almost the whole house that wants to love on you and protect you, because we know you're going to do the same. Don't do it. Don't get rid of Leah. Just don't do it.
Oh,
And
that was
staying up at night thinking about that.
I mean, just watching it
was
enough for us to be like, what is she doing? But I think there's this thing, and there's some criticism of this season too, of I think there were other factors it seemed like that Chelsea and MJ kind of had in common, of talking very much like about their faith and about religion. And we're seeing it this season, and people are starting to clock and question Mickey, because Mickey has made some interesting comments of that, you know, you can take a certain way, of like a faith-based game. And we're hearing, and I don't know if this is Julie Chen Moonves and when she found the Lord, you know what I mean? She does. She loves her God 101. God bless Julie. But you know, that is such a heavy thing to play with when you're playing a game like this. And I think that it is what I've seen watching years and years of Big Brother, unfortunately, whether it's intentional or not, I've seen people use that as a manipulation tactic. And there are some people that take that so seriously that they're it's a much easier to kind of guide them or control them using that. And this season, I don't know if you are aware, but on the feeds, you know, Mickey is making a lot of, which I'm shocked. I'm just still trying to process it, of why she is targeting Jimmy. I saw, you know, Mickey had been building a case, and so had Morgan, against Jimmy. And Jimmy has his, you know, ways, and he can be messy, and people are calling him out on snakes. But I feel like they're at a point where they're just believing things that he did that he didn't even do. Yeah. And then we're hearing justifications of going, well, he's not, like, we don't have the same kind of, I don't know the exact word she's using, but kind of the same standards, the same, he's not living his life in a way where when she talks to Riley, it's like, oh, you are. And so people are clocking that. Is this some kind of homophobia? Like, what is going on here? So that's conversations being had, but we're seeing a lot more. I mean, I guess it's always been present, where people bring in, you know, you bring in everything about yourself into the Big Brother house. We saw that with Dan Giesling. You know, he was like a coach at like a Catholic, you know, he used his faith as well. But it's getting to the point where I think Big Brother might need, and this is just my opinion, to step in and be like, a separation between church and Big Brother. Like, God needs a break, and he's got other things he's doing besides your Big Brother game. Like, let's just all assume that, you know what I mean? Just like, it's great and it's beautiful and your faith is beautiful, but let's not be targeting people based on that. Or we saw Keanu do this too, is kind of bring up religion in a conversation and quote the Bible in a way it seems a little sacrilegious, if I'm being honest, to kind of use that to further yourself in a game that's, like you said, Big Brother, based on like lies, manipulation, like all these things that aren't necessary. I don't know. I just kind of struggle with that. So my original point was just getting back to, like, I think MJ and Chelsea really related on that level of, you know, their
Yeah,
faith.
they definitely did, and that did bring them together. And then silly me, towards the end, Chelsea's reading the Bible, and I tried. I've been praying, and I've been praying for everybody in this house, and um, I even pray for you, and I'm praying for the people at home, and I feel like it's making me feel like this. I'm feeling better about it. Like I tried to break into that and try
I
to
feel like you have to nowadays.
get to relate to her on any level. But it just didn't work. She saw right through it. I knew it was as it was happening. She used it as a moment to shine the light on how she's mentored people in a prison and things like that.
Yeah.
So I opened the door for a huge sermon of everything. And I was like, oh God, she saw right through it. I'm screwed. I got to listen to this now. But no, I think for me, like I told my husband, if I'm ever able to get back in the Big Brother house, it's the single most thing that you can bring in there with you is a Bible to read. Other than that, you're not getting any other kind of book. So I was like, that might be the opportunity for me to have, you know, to actually read it. I know a little bit of it, but I would never say that I know the whole thing. But using religion in the game, depending on how they live their lives outside of the game, would play a factor in that. Like if they're using it just, you know, for Big Brother purposes or whatever, you know, you can use it for bonding, whatever. I know that my season, they had Bible studies in the first few weeks. They clearly did. And it felt kind of like there was this club outside of the people that didn't bring a Bible, you know, and I'm not trying to knock that or anything, but it did feel like it kind of, you know, pulled away a bit. But if that is what they do on their outside life, then I don't see a reason why they can't bring it in. But if they're using it for gameplay and to have, you know, a leg up or something like that, then I don't know that that's necessarily the best way to do that. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
I didn't experience it too much other than my husband sitting at home watching live feed said that I think there was a fork in the road when Matt went home and then MJ was continually being put up on the block and having to win herself off and all that, where there was a pivotal moment where she didn't have anybody. And honestly, I was trying to be there for her along the way. Like I was there with her when she would pack her bag. Whether she wanted me to or not, she never let on that she didn't want me to.
Yeah. What did that feel like when you heard what she was really saying about you?
Yeah, it stung. I'm not going to lie. It did because I grew to have genuine feelings for her. I looked at her like a friend. I looked at her like, you know, very similar to my girls. Just like I'd look at Leah, just a friend and feel like family a little bit. And in there, you just need to feel that. You need to feel that or you will literally go insane. You have to have people that you consider like a family almost. And I honestly, and I'm going to just say this in my heart, I don't believe that she doesn't like me because she was playing a game. And I think that it looked better if she didn't look like she aligned with both Leah and myself, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But I choose to believe that she didn't always hate me because why else would she voluntarily give me hugs when she didn't need to? Why else would she have felt sympathy for me when I was doing my that punishment where I had to walk across the yard all night long for 10 hours.
Yes.
She was there to root me on and give me that support I needed to make it across the finish line at that point. She was there during some of the talks that I had about my own daughters and was looking for advice. I was there for her when she talked about things. Now, maybe she doesn't like me. I don't know, but I'm going to choose to believe that she does care about me. I don't know that you can fake that all the way. I still care about her. I still think about her. It stings to know that she talked the way that she did, but she also came up to me at the finale party and she said to me, now, mind you, my kids they were like busting down the gates at the Big Brother house to try and fill me in on all the things I didn't.
We were waiting for your kids to tell you. We're like, oh my God, we can't wait for Angela's kids to tell her everything.
Yeah. And they're like, Mom, MJ doesn't like you. She flat out doesn't like you. Do not engage. Like she doesn't like you. It was all game. She pretended to like you. And even when they were telling me that, I just didn't feel like that could be real. But those are really heightened moments. You know, you don't know how to dissect all of that you're hearing. So she came up to me at the finale party again on Blue's rooftop party that she had for us. And she's like, Angela, I'm really sorry. You're going to hear things that were said on the show that I said. And she goes, I didn't mean them. It was all gameplay. It was all gameplay. And she goes, I'm sorry. She said, I'm sorry. And I was like, no worries. Like I hugged her. We took pictures after that, her, Matt, and myself. Like we were good. It's like, okay, we'll leave it at that. We can just compartmentalize that and shelf it somewhere. I don't even need to think about it again. But it just like after the fact, and then I did watch some of it, it kind of stings. I'm not gonna lie, it still stings to this day. Like it hurts because it's weird that she's not in my life. If that's fair to say.
Have you was there an attempt after that for you guys to stay in contact, or was it pretty clear once she started dating Matt that just wasn't, and once you found out how she really was talking about you in the house, that just wasn't going to be a relationship you were going to be able to
I think for me, like I just have to know that, we had something, whether it was false on her end or whatever, in the house. I felt it was real. But she is with Matt, and Matt clearly doesn't like me. So I'm not going to overstep.
Or he really likes you because he won't shut up about you.
I'm not going to overstep any boundaries and try and interfere in their relationship by trying to have one with her. If she wanted to reach out to me, I would be open arms any day. Like, I don't even care if it's years from now. Like, I would be open to like having her in my life because I do care about that girl. But I'm not going to interfere on what she has with Matt. And I'm being respectful of that. So if she wanted to reach out again, I would be like so happy. But if not, it's okay too. I have a lot of love in my life. I've got my kids are my best friends. My husband's here. I've got everything I need,
Yes.
I've got it all, but she would just be bonus if that ever happened. So who knows? Life is long. Life is
you have
wonderful.
Leah, and no offense, but Leah is iconic. So
I know.
Leah's amazing. She's hilarious. Like
she makes me so happy. She really, really, really does. She was like the biggest light for me in that house. And honestly, I'm so happy for her that she has a love for cooking. Like she just does. She has a knack for it. For one, it's her love language. She's so good at it. And I think a lot of people at home don't realize, like, they're like, oh, she's in the kitchen all day long making the meal and it's finally done at 9:00. This girl is so smart that there's not a lot to do in that house. You don't really have hobbies. We don't play chess, neither of us really liked pool. So she found something she really loves and she really enjoys, and she would plan it out and she would prepare it and she would make it and she would put so much love into it. And it was like her hobby, and it's like something she could escape all the madness that Big Brother is. It's wonderful, but all the madness and all the voices and all the things, and do something that was wonderful for everyone. And we all appreciated it. And, those are things that I will never forget, because she was teaching me things and showing me things. Cause I'm not the greatest.
She knew a lot. Cause I'm sitting here as a 40-some-year-old woman going, I do not know half of what Leah knows at what, like 24, 25. I was like, damn, like what have I been doing with my life?
There's all these recipes up here that and she'll even come up with stuff, and she measures with love. So everything that she did, we don't get recipe cards in that house. We don't got the internet or anything that we could bring in with us. She clearly did everything off memory, or would just build these things from scratch. She made it was the best. She made a sticky rice watermelon thing that was supposed to resemble sushi. Tell me why it was the most delicious thing I've ever had to date in my life.
I remember seeing that on the feeds.
It was shocking presentation. I mean, the whole thing. I constantly tell Leah she needs to have a freaking cooking show. She is so talented. So talented. And she's easy in front of the camera. She can very, very easily just talk in front of the camera without any hesitation. She's great at it. I think
she's witty. She's witty. She's smart. She's witty. She's quick.
She is. So, she really is. So I could boast about Leah all day long, Jolene.
I know. I really like that you guys developed this friendship. And when I think of you two, I think of you stepping in Janky World, and you stepping out of the porta potty with your power of veto.
All right.
For the POV, Sarah?
I'll give you insight on that. Would you like insight on that?
Yes, give us all the insight.
This is so good. This is so good. This is so good. Okay, so it's a wonderful. We were on cloud 9. This girl wins HOH. I win a veto. She's got a veto. It's just amazing. It's amazing. Veto ceremony. Production, we never really see them because it's just over a loudspeaker what you hear. And they're like, okay, we're going to start the veto ceremony. We're going to have both you, Leah and Angela, go behind Janky's stage. And then one at a time, when you say your line, I want you to pop your head out from behind the stage and say, okay, everybody. And then it's time for the veto ceremony. Well, as we're doing this, it just doesn't feel very natural. I'm used to people coming out of a door, you know what I'm saying? And so I moved across the yard, and of course are those stinking little porta potties with 2 doors. And I said, hey, any chance that Lee and I could come out of those porta potty doors over there? And you just hear, hold. And then he's like, let's try it. And we're like, yes. And so we go over, and it's so hilarious. It only took about 3 takes, but Lee and I were laughing, and so were the other house guests in the yard. We were all laughing so hard because it's, for one, we all know it's hot and it stinks in there. But just coming out, and I mean, I could hardly hold it back. But the 3rd try, we got it, and then production said to me, "Chef's kiss, Angela. That was awesome, and we're going to use that." So that was little, like, I got a little piece of Big Brother production. I got to suggest that, and I'm so proud of that moment, getting to do that. That's my
Angela's
producing
credit. Oh yeah, I mean that I bet I would have. I don't know. I wouldn't have lasted out there like at all. I wonder if they're going to do something like that this season, like an outdoor.
We were all having. I hope they do. They need to experience it. They need to experience something like that. My husband will joke. He's like, when we got those punishments, he's like, what if production really wanted you to have the Matrix or the Matrix? And I was like, those suckers. I bet you they did want me to get that punishment. I would have broke those TV screens. I would have been like, no, I'm not listening to this. But like, seriously, could you imagine if I'd had that? But I'm not mad if I would have, because honestly, it would have saved me from telling a group of people, like, we should probably go ahead and vote out, Tucker if he doesn't win. If I had been in that punishment, that never would have happened. And I would have been able to see more clearly that he did have my back, even though he was instigating that I was the instigator, the AI instigator, which he was telling people around the house, and I got wind of it, and it just felt funny. So that's why I was like, we should just get him out, because I didn't feel like I could trust him anymore after he was doing that. So, but my bad. He still would have had my back, and he still had my back, even when he found out that I said we should get him out.
Angela, when you go to him and you're crying, and I forget which day this is or whatever, and you're talking, I think it was the Matt situation, and he had his arms like this. He's like, I am not the least bit intimidated by that dude. I was taking a shit, and he tried to, and that is one of my favorite moments from this. You're like crying, and he's like, I will take that guy out. I am not the least bit intimidated. And then he's talking about taking a shit, and I was like, yes, Tucker, get his ass. Like that. You guys had a very fun dynamic. That was, I mean, obviously you two were just the biggest personalities, the most entertaining on the season. No shade to the other people, because they were entertaining, in their own right. But this, like we talked about earlier, this is something that now people are seeing, like, oh, the Angela Tucker effect. So you're seeing people want to have these big moments, but yours again felt like it was more authentic because we were seeing it for the first time. And now we're kind of seeing like copycat versions, which isn't that fun. So hopefully, future players just remember, like, do what you do, bring what you do. Don't try to recreate.
That's why they were picked. Yeah.
Yeah. What another player has done. I know just from your TikTok that you and Tucker, you're still buddies.
Yes. He's amazing. Yeah. I adore him. He called me the other day. Last week he was in Dallas and he was doing a meet and greet. He had something, he had some business there. So he met up with Kat Dunn and with Brooklyn. And they did a little mini meet and greet, just on the spur of the moment, I think. And he calls me up while he's there, FaceTiming me. And I'm like, oh my God, let me fix my hair. Tucker's calling me. He's like, hi, Angela, I have a fan here that really loves you and she wants to talk to you. So I talked to this fan that he called out of the blue, called me out of the blue to talk to.
I thought you were going to say it was Brooklyn. I was like, that's hilarious. If she would have been like, hey, Angela.
I saw her in the background. No shade towards Brooklyn. I mean, whatever. I know she says, like, on some of her things, and that's why I kind of, okay, now I'm going off on a tangent, but I'll address it.
Yeah, give it to
us. We did the premiere night in Dallas. I chose to go there because, for one, I love Kat Dunn. Okay. She's freaking iconic. I love her. If nobody on this chat or this thing, we're doing this live, doesn't know her, they need to follow her. She's absolutely amazing. But anyhow, I really wanted to see her again. And We'd only met once. So I really wanted to see her again. And then my son, he moved out to Austin. So I was like, perfect opportunity. Flights just worked out really well rather than going to New York. So I go to this, and I wasn't sure if Kat had told Brooklyn that I was going or not, because I wasn't seeing it advertised at all. I don't think it was advertised ever. So I didn't know if my going was going to be a surprise or what. But it was interesting seeing her, because I'd watched some of the things she has said online about me. And she says things like, Angela is how Angela is. Like, what you see is what you get, like what you saw on the show. And it's so funny because, as I told you earlier, I didn't open that door for everybody to see who I was. And not everybody took interest to even get to know who I am. They don't know who I am on my outside, life. They don't know. Everybody has a lot of layers to them. And I would not literally dictate any single person on Big Brother and say that's just who they are. Because when you're in there, you're thrown in with a ton of strangers. You're paranoid. It is hard. There's a lot going on. There's a lot. So you're going to be a different version of yourself. You go in there with the expectation of this strategy, of this plan that you have, that you've dreamt up, right? And then you're there, and it completely just busts open, and it's so different from anything you ever thought possible. I never thought I was going to be like that explosive or that loud or that opinionated. I knew I would probably in the DR, but I didn't know I would be necessarily all that much, but I was.
Yeah.
And so for her to say that, it kind of irks me a bit, because she never took even a moment. She only knew me surface level in the house. I'd tell her cooking's good, which it was. Not as good as Leah's, but it was good. And I'll throw shade that way too.
Just a little shade. You're ready for the housewives, Angela. I love it.
I'll go ahead and do it. But anyhow, just like seeing her, I just felt uneasy about it just a little bit. And I even told her, I said, I'm not liking you so much right now, when she gave me a hug. I was honest with her. And she said, we can get through this together, basically. I was like, sure thing. But yeah, I mean, I think she's fine. I don't know Brooklyn as a person, and she doesn't know me. And so it's okay that we don't need to know each other. We don't need to. We were part of an epic season, and we can just be past house guests together, part of BB26, and we can leave it at that. But she doesn't.
Not everyone.
And if she speaks on me, anything that she is saying, it is not who I am outside of the house. She doesn't know me. So stop having an opinion of me is my point. So anyway, and I felt that way too of Quinn, but we talked it out, and he understands now, and I understand his perspective too. So it's a two-way street.
I like that you and Quinn got that time. Was Brooklyn or was she on the cruise?
No, she wasn't invited.
Pre-jury. I mean, it's what happens. No offense. Yeah, I mean, you guys had the little charcuterie moment, and that was cool. But I mean, not everyone's meant to be friends.
No,
who's on that show?
We all, like I've said this before, we all have uncles or that one weird cousin we don't talk to, and they're our family. It's okay that we don't like the people we were paired with in the show. And again, that's why they put together this immaculate puzzle of, I can just picture it now. They have all our pictures up on the wall, and they are thinking showmance. They're thinking, these people are going to clash because she's beauty pageant, and she's, she's rugged and a hustler, and she's rough around the edges, and she says it like it is. She's not refined like this. We're very, very different. Now I have friends like her. I do.
Yes.
And we get along seamlessly, beautifully, actually, because we both bring something different to the table. But I can see how they would think in production, how, we will have conflict. And we did. And I don't really take the charcuterie that serious now that I'm not home. I'm not there and not starving.
It was hilarious.
In the moment, it was everything, Jolene. It was everything. But now being home, it's okay. I made beautiful charcuteries. Now, Brooklyn, I will give her props. She can make a hell of a board, and hers are much better looking than mine. But outside of that, outside of that, I don't see a friendship anytime soon blossoming.
Even your personalities. I mean, you could tell watching. I feel like we invest in you guys for the summer. So we watch the dynamics, and it didn't make sense. It was more like a frenemies situation. So the fact that she hugged you and we can get through this, fake the funk, that makes more sense to me than you guys, being friends. So, I mean,
I'm okay with that. I think she is too. And it's fine. It is totally fine. She isn't all over the internet every day, all day, and doing podcasts and things like that. She's it's once in a blue moon or whatever, and it's fine. And I know that
Mhm.
she also wasn't there that long. She didn't have 73 days like I did, or longer days
Yep.
like other people did. So she has to kind of, talk about what stood out. And that is one thing that did stand out for her, was the whole charcuterie thing. She didn't win
Mhm.
anything. So that is the one thing. And I'm happy she has it. And I'm happy to have poke fun about it with her back and forth. It's funny now. Wasn't funny then. It's funny now.
Yeah, Angela, you should just say it how it is. I'm happy. You're happy you could give that to her. Like that was
I
a very
I
nice
I
gift.
did tell her that. I
Yeah.
actually had a little quarrel with her back and forth about a month ago, where I told her, "You're welcome." I
Was it
think
on
I
TikTok?
this was on the Big Brother, was it Big Brother Instagram page? We went
Okay.
back and forth, and I just told her I was happy to give that to you. Oh yeah, because she said to me, she said, "Well, I'm happy that we voted to keep you and give you more time." And I was like, "Girl, you didn't." You didn't. She kept trying to, like, put herself, like, when she talked to me, like, on the same level. She's as old as my daughter. Like, I have a daughter her age. She kept trying to say that she's, like, this married mother, whatever.
Yes.
Girl, I'm much older than you. You could be my daughter. And it's so funny that she kept trying to relate to me on that level, and I could never see her as a 50-year-old woman. She's in her early 30s,
Yeah.
So I don't know why she did that, but she did. There was 2 married mothers in that house, and one of them lasted longer, and that is this girl.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot that was her whole thing. I want to be
Yeah.
in preseason. We were all like, "That's a weird way to put it. I'm going to be the first married mother." Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I mean, it's like whatever, but there was also another married mother in the house.
Yeah.
And so,
And
yeah.
a mother to a
Ready?
fault, Angela. You are a
Mother
mother
fault,
to
Jolene.
a fault. So, speaking of, moving to this season, it's just so fun chatting with you. Who are like your faves? First, I have to get your thoughts on Kelly.
All
Kelly, I think she wants to be the Tucker. She wants to be the chaotic
Yeah.
force.
Yeah.
She keeps putting her volunteering.
Yes.
Like, what are your thoughts?
So right out the door, I thought Kelly was going to go really far. I thought she's neat, and she still might. She still very well might. But the minute I was watching live feeds and saw her say to some of the house guests, "I'm like Tucker, like I'm winning everything, and I'm going around being this instigator." And she's really proud of her workings in the house of being this instigator. And I'm like, "Oh no! Now no one's going to trust you because you're going around and doing this." So I think she's made her bed and she's lying in it now. And I think she's finally figuring it out and feeling it, that was not probably the best game for her to play. So we might see her start to back down off of that a little bit and realize she's got one way out the door if she keeps it up. And she's really good at winning though. She is. So I think she could go a long way if she just backs it up, reestablishes connections with other people, and stops trying to be the instigator and stop trying to compare herself to Tucker. Because she's never going to be Tucker. Nobody is.
Never.
No. So that's my take on her. Do I see her winning the game? No, I don't. I don't predict that at all. My front runner right now is probably Morgan. I don't know about you, but I just feel like she's good. Like she seems to be good with everybody. She needs to get her mind off of Zach because that ain't going to happen. I think I just saw live feeds today where Zach and Lauren are holding hands in the hammock. So, and she's blushing and all kinds of things are starting. Did you see that yet?
Zach and Lauren?
Hold on.
We're holding hands because we know Zach's in love with Lauren and Morgan's still in love with.
Yes. I make sure I got her name right. Yes. Because sometimes I'm bad about names. Great with faces. But yes,
I didn't see it. People in the chat are saying, yes, they were holding hands.
And he reached for her hand and she for the longest time.
Now, was it like a father-daughter or
no,
finger?
It's this. It's good.
Okay.
It's
a good. Okay.
I think we're going to start seeing something kind of fire up there.
Oh God. We need to get you in there to get rid of Zach. Like you got rid of Matt. Because I feel like he's going to
Rachel can
win
do that.
this.
Rachel can do that. I think she can. I think she will. I feel like Rachel's going to go a bit. I think she's getting so frustrated. And I know I would be hearing they just want you for jury management and want you in there to rationalize with people who they think that she's going to like give them props to be the winner or whatever and advocate for them. No, And I love that she's telling people like, no, I think it'll get back to them. What she's saying right now is like, I'm not here to be in jury. I'm not going to be if I'm not winning, I'm not being away from my family that much longer to wait it out. Like I'm not advocating for you to win. No. I'd love to see her go even further. I'd love her to go against the odds of staying long and possibly making it to final 3. I think it would be crazy. But I think she's also playing it very safe. She's not being the Rachel. I know we all change and we evolve. Like I probably wouldn't be exactly the same if I were to go back. You get a lot of it, but it wouldn't be the exact same people or the same game. So it's going to be a little different. But I feel like she is being a lot more reserved this time around. And it
really is.
Probably is beneficial for her because she doesn't want to go home. She'd like to win. So I can see why she's doing that. But I could see her going far, and I could see her like exploding after she's just getting so sick of certain people too. Like I could see it.
Yeah, I would like to see a good Rachel explosion. I just feel bad for Rachel because I feel like she's in a position right now where and she's talked about it where, I remember when Paul came back for BB19 and he had just played BB18 and lost. Rachel is now returning for a 3rd time and she's a winner. People treated Paul like he was a god. Like everything he said, like it was like the cult of Paul.
It was wonderful to watch.
Right. Oh God. And then people thought, oh my God, Rachel's going to be a cult, but it's not because these people are acting like, because I think a lot of them, like the Kellys and stuff, they've seen like one episode of Big Brother. So they don't really know who she is, or they've seen like a best of compilation. So they're really poo-pooing all her experience and the people she actually wants to work with and give her input. It's like they don't respect what she has to say, even though this is her 3rd time doing it.
Yep.
And this is such a strange season because it feels like the only true allies I think in the house right now are Vince and Zach.
Right.
And otherwise it's a mess, Angela.
It is. Did you see where Rachel was on the couch out in the backyard with Jimmy, and he was like really upset, he's on the block, whatever. And then he says to Rachel, I came in really hot. And he realizes it. This is the first we heard him say it out loud, though. He's like, I came in really hot and loud and all of this. And then I backed off because I knew that wasn't basically going to get me anywhere. And now he goes, I feel like I need to come in hot again. And then Rachel's like, yeah, you did come in really hot. And now you have and then she says to him, she says this, I think you need to turn it up again. I think you need to get hot again. And I'm like, oh, she's so messy. Does she want him to go out? Because I feel like if he turns up the heat and he does anything, it will be him that for sure goes home. So I don't know what she's doing, why she's planting that.
Well, I think she's banking on the fact that he's going to win the BB Butt Blaster. And then she's saying, because he's like, okay, now that Mickey, because Jimmy would have not put Mickey up. Jimmy loved Mickey. Like as much as the triple threat
and everything.
Yes.
Like, God, who's getting rid of a masseuse? Not me.
That's why it's so sus, and people are looking at Mickey like, what is really going on here? Because Mickey I was like, her social game, she's killing it. And then once she got HOH and she took Riley's HOH, or once Riley got HOH and she used her power, I was like, yes, this is going to be amazing. Only to, why even use the power if you're just going to put up one of your own allies? Why were you even scared of Riley in the first place? Even though, yes, he did say he was going to put you, Morgan, and Ashley up. But it's like these people, they have no allegiance and they have no read. And if they would actually, the ones that Rachel wants to work with would listen to her and she could get some numbers behind her, they could make some moves. So I think that's what she's kind of trying to amp up Jimmy now too, for our entertainment purposes, because she is a super fan, but also because if he does win, on Thursday night, and he does stay and hopefully win an HOH, we are going to need him to turn it up. And we're going to, I was with you early on about Morgan, like, okay, I'm liking this, #gamer girl. We got it. But Morgan is, she's not in a good spot. She's putting all of her eggs in the Vince Zach basket, where they would probably, they've pretty much now confirmed on the feeds they're not going to protect her, and she was going so hard to protect them from Mickey putting them up. And it's just, she's like what you were saying about Chelsea, how she doesn't turn her game off. That's Morgan, but I feel like Chelsea could, at least to the audience, hide it a little more.
Yeah, she did.
Where Morgan is just, she's so intense on game, and it's really pushing people away, and her reads are so bad because she's clouded by her crush of Zach and this alliance with Vince, and they're not prioritizing her like she's prioritizing them.
No, they're not. They're not. And you make very valid points there. Very, very valid. I can see that she is just all time, always game. It may catch up to her because it's just going to be so draining. You know what I'm saying? So draining for her. Mentally, I don't think anyone can keep up with that capacity. But I do want to touch on the fact that, you know, Mickey took the HOH away. Now, we're not in her head, but I know that she's paranoid. She was paranoid that Riley might put her up. I don't know who planted that in her head or how that evolved or how she got there, but I wouldn't say to her, I wouldn't feel like it was all bad that she took it, because if she had handled it, and now again, we're not thinking very clearly when we're in there, but if she had taken it, I know she had to pretend she didn't have it so that she could do it. But once she revealed that it was her, she should have had a conversation. Now, again, the shoulda, coulda, woulda, she'll go back and think this later, hopefully, or not hopefully, but hopefully she doesn't have to. But if she goes back and analyzes this, she very easily could have said to Riley, listen, I felt this way that you were going to put me up. Please tell me I'm wrong. And that's why I went ahead and used it now. But I don't want to put you up. I want to establish trust with you by not putting you up. You know, she was saying, I'll do that with Kat. If I don't put her up, I want to establish that trust or whatnot. And he's like, yeah, you'll have that. But if she had just said to him, look, I want to do this. I'm not putting you up. I'm establishing this trust with you. You can use the HOH room as your own. I'm safe. You're safe. We're not going home. Let's use this together. Let's work on this together. Let's do this together. Let's establish this trust. I think he would have been wrapped around her little finger had she said that. You know, you and Kat are fine. I had to do this because of this reason. Please tell me I'm wrong. Let's establish this trust now. My HOH is your HOH. And she very well could have done that. She could have done that. But now when you get that HOH power, speaking from experience, it goes like, it's just like, whoa.
You get the HOH-itis.
Yeah, and you're going to upset a lot of people. You're drawing lines in the sand. You're going to make people pissed off at you. You're worried who you're putting up. They're going to put you up next week if they get that HOH. And it's inevitable. It's going to happen. There's not going to be somebody that you put up that isn't going to want to put you right back up too. It's just not going to happen. So I understand her cloudy thought process. I do. I really, really do. But again, I just feel like if she had just been more transparent with him, this week could have gone by a lot more. It would have been more smooth for her and this transition of moving forward to next week. So I don't know. I'm on pins and needles to see what's going to happen. I don't know what the hell Kat is going to do if Riley goes home. I don't know. I don't know that she has an identity without him anymore. Because like I said earlier when we were talking, I don't know that her and Lauren are as close as they were because Lauren's finding other people to be closer with. And she's been so attached with Riley.
I think honestly, to me, the best thing that could happen is Riley go home for Kat. I feel like she looks to me like she's in prison, Angela. Her eyes tell the story of someone who feels stuck. She might, I don't know. She hasn't, I see them hold hands here, but I feel as though this is a showmance where she's being held hostage. I'm just going to say it. Like, it is scary, Angela. I'm thinking this is going to turn into Dateline NBC. I am worried. I need the producers to call her parents. I need a welfare check on Kat.
I told her, like, his hand was up on her back and on the bar stools in the kitchen today.
He does
on my feeds. Like, I think that, I don't know if it was today or if it was yesterday, but why isn't she getting up and moving away? Like, is it Stockholm syndrome? What's happening?
I think it could be, it could be a combination of things of, because you're being in this house, every move you make, if she does feel isolated by this guy who's clearly like, as the kids say now, love bombing, he's love bombing the shit out of her. He's like, I want to marry you. I'm in love with you. I'm just like, bro, you've known me for
any other dating websites.
Right? Like, that's psycho. I know Rachel keeps saying, oh, he reminds me of Brendan. I'm like, no, Brendan wasn't a psycho. This guy's acting to me like a psychopath. If I was her mom, I would be dialing up like, hi, can I talk to Kat real quick? Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, pull her away. So she might feel stuck. She might be possessed by the love bombing? I don't know, but there are moments, Angela, where I see Kat's face and I want to go in as she's 22, as a 45-year-old woman, and pick her up, hide her under my t-shirt, and save her from this man, because he terrifies me and I need him to go. And when it comes to Mickey, I feel like if you're going to make this big move, and the reason she or who she heard it from that he was going to put her up is because he told Keanu told Zach and Vince. Zach then went and told Morgan and Mickey, like, oh, he's targeting you. So Riley was coming after her. If someone says my name and I have this power to take that from you, now I'm sending your ass home. I'm going to do everything. And if I can't get you, I'm getting Kat.
Exactly.
And that's that about that. So what Mickey did, like you were talking about being clouded, of course, but it just makes no sense to then, why even use the power? We're happy. We love when people use their powers, but why use it to just take out your own ally, Jimmy? You still pissed off Riley, even though he says he's going to work with you. He's working for Kat. This man is a weirdo. Like he's just doing, it's strange. Like if I don't know, I would,
from experience, Joleen, seriously, when you are in this house, everything, every person, every word, everything that's happening around you, what's the word I'm looking for? It is just so tightly insulated, and it's your world now. Everything in this little square box is your world. And so not every one of us are going to have really clear thought processes. I almost wonder if it really were something she didn't want to be around him like that. There are women in the house and men that could see if it were something that was making her feel uncomfortable, that would pull her away and say, are you, like, even Rachel, like, she's the mama of the house. Like, if she felt like this was something that wasn't healthy for Kat, like, she's witnessing all of it, I would feel that Rachel would step in and say, can you please, Riley, like, take your eyes that they're like taped on her. Can we peel those back? And like give her some breathing room? And if we are sitting at home and we don't think Rachel hasn't said that to her, and it may not be on live feeds, they're cut all the time because of Skippy. And then I've learned his name. And it's not something that necessarily would need to be aired for the show, because it doesn't really apply really in a way, because it's not gameplay. Rachel could have, or any of the girls, even Lauren, could have said, is he bugging you? Are you feeling uncomfortable? Because I think girls have each other's backs, in that way. I feel like one of them has probably, and we just haven't witnessed it, gone to her and has said to her, is he making you feel uncomfortable? Like, or do you need us to step in? I think she would have honestly answered the right way, but she continues to hang out with him. And we don't know, as the audience, if she's not whispering sweet nothings in his ear, that's just enough to keep him thinking that he can continue to do more.
So she can use him as,
we don't know as the audience. We really don't. And I really truly want to believe that some of those women or men in the house are and have gone to her and said, listen, Lauren, are you, like, I'm repeating, but you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, and I hope that to be true. And but I think the only person right now that's kind of seeing through Riley is Ashley, because unfortunately Rachel, I think, normally being a 40-year-old woman, married, all these things, like the life experience, she'd pull her away. But Rachel's clouded by how much she misses Brendan, so she's looking at this through the lens of, this is a showman's like me and Brendan. And so I think,
but who was more the aggressor? It was her.
Yes, exactly. I know.
Keanu, like, I'm playing with you.
Yeah, exactly. And
she was more the aggressor in that relationship for sure. And with Kat, it is the girl that chases a little bit.
Yeah, and that was fun to watch that back in the day. But I think with Kat too, she's also getting love bombed by this guy, and then it's being reaffirmed by all the other cast members, because they, as much as you've been in the house, so you can speak to this better than anyone, but you're so in your head about your own game and your own social standing that they're all like, oh, this is cute because it's a showman's, because like Rachel's saying it, and so now everyone's like, they're gonna kiss, and so now they've romanticized this thing. So that makes me feel that there is no one really that can pull her out or really get a temp check, because everyone's kind of like, oh, they're in a showmance and it's cute. So with the love bombing, with everyone else co-signing it, that's my fear, is that it's just,
I would have to say, now that we're kind of discussing it, And then
Yeah.
having been in the show and been in the house, I will tell you this, all of our minds definitely clouded. We see perception is everything. We
Yep.
see them together. We think everything's cute. It's a showman's, whatever. We're so excited for it. Light that ignition. Let's go. Let's go for that ride. However, we have amazing, Joleen, I will tell you this from the bottom of my heart, amazing production team that are watching every single move, hearing every single conversation. If they feel, and I'm being completely transparent, if they feel that this is not something that's healthy for her or for anybody, they will bring you in the diary room and ask you straight out. If they feel anything is not right, not good, somebody's, needs a temperature check, they're bringing them in and they're going to talk to them. And they're going to handle it. They really, really are. So I truly believe she's not in any kind of danger or anything like that.
I hope so, girl.
I promise you. I promise you.
Okay.
So on top of it, like when I was so sleep deprived, Joleen, and I was having all of these issues and I was very clouded and really just going to Lulu, they brought me in and they're like, there is a counselor. I never talked to them, but there is a counselor in the upstairs DR where at any moment, any time of the day, 24 hours a day, you can go up there and you can talk and you can just get support in that way. And not only that, but you also have the DR people that are so brilliant and their eyes are on you 24/7. They've called me in there and like, are you good? Like, are you okay? And I'm like, I just need to sleep. I know I'm not allowed to sleep, but I need to sleep. And they said, you go up there and you go take a nap. You have our permission. Turn off the lights and go to sleep. And so they really are there to take care of you. They're going to make sure that nobody is going through something that they shouldn't be going through or feeling pressured or anything funky. So this, just talking it through with you, it's bringing up the fact that I know production is on it. Like they're on it. If it's not
That's
healthy,
good.
They got it. They got it.
I would have been in. So you never used the counselor or the therapist. I would have been up there all the time, Angela.
No. And you know what? They also offer it to you after the show too, for however long you need. I never really needed it because I'm like I said to you earlier, I know who I am. I'm a more mature woman. I did act a little bit like kiddish in the house because that was the first time forever that I had not had to take care of anyone. I practically raised my brother and my sister, my mom was a single mom working jobs and stuff. So I was the latchkey kid picking up the kids from school and the daycare and bringing them home and cooking and bathing. Like I was doing all of that since I was little. So this was my first time to be away from everything and all those types of responsibilities and be on my own and just like, thinking for myself, which wasn't always great. Like it wasn't, but it was me being by myself and living that, living in that reality. So, yeah.
I as much as I feel like a lot of us that recap it and commentate, I feel like the armchair quarterback, people always ask me, Joleen, you want to do Big Brother? I couldn't, Angela. I'd be gone. I know myself and everything would annoy me and I'd be popping off. Like I just would. And
perfect. That's what we need.
Oh, and then that bathroom, Angela, and sharing it. And these people are nasty and the hair in the drain. How did you?
I know. Oh God.
And Leah, the ants.
Leah cleaned like nobody's business. I couldn't bring myself to clean that shower. I can't. Disgusting. I couldn't. She'd get in there and spend all night cleaning that bathroom and it would just be sparkling in the morning. Beautiful. You don't know this, but that one toilet that we shared downstairs, that room is so dark, by the way, so dark for good reason, probably. And guess what? The toilet, it's black. The toilet, black. It's black. You can't see shit. It's
like
black.
It's a black toilet or it's black because it's dirty.
Yes, probably. But it's black. I'm like, I'd sit in there and sometimes I go, if I had a black light, boy, would these walls talk.
Oh my God. Just imagine.
My gosh,
and then I think of like some of the guys in there because speaking of the Matrix, Joseph very proudly talked about his Jack Shack, we called it. And, and to Matt's voice, I wonder if that made them closer. It had to have, right?
I don't know. I know they're friends. I know they talk. Joseph tells me that they talk. Yeah, but no, that toilet situation, Joleen.
Oh, I couldn't.
Okay, girl, there's something. I don't know if you know this or not, but every morning we hear wakey house guests. There are fresh batteries in the storage room.
Yes, I've heard that.
It's weird. Then we get 3 songs. 3 songs, not of our choosing, but they're fun. They're usually fun, upbeat songs, and we're dancing around and we're getting up. I tried to get up earlier before everybody else, pop out of that bed the minute I would hear wakey, wakey, or sometimes even before, so I could go potty before everybody else, because trying to wait for that many people to go potty, that's again, my age weighed definitely against me, because I have to go potty more frequently and I can't hold it like some of these young people can. Well, my ass was in that bathroom way before others. And if I missed a day, oh shit, I'm sitting there just going, oh no, what was in there? Oh, no.
Oh my goodness.
It's hard to use public restrooms, let alone, that was one of my biggest pet peeves, is having to go in there and share a toilet. Like, not good. Not good.
No, and then the ants, every season, the ants take over the house. Do you find that they're like crawling on you when you sleep? Does it get that bad?
No. It's funny. They just kind of seem isolated to the kitchen and the yard. I feel like there's an anthill right underneath the kitchen and the yard. And I think why the ants come, this is so off topic in a way, but I have turf in my yard too. And it's a compaction of like graphite, sand, perfect for an ant dwelling. And so their yard is all turf. So it's got the same thing underneath, and ants just love it. It's like this major ant maze under there. You just know it. Yeah. So I don't know that they will ever avoid having ants. It is, and you can hear them talking about it on live feeds right now. Ants are in your bread.
Yes.
You can't keep anything on that one counter. You just can't. No, because it will be infested with ants. But as far as ants getting in the storage room, no, that's not a problem. They're not coming into the rest of the house. It's the weirdest thing. Once in a while in the bathroom, I'll say that they'll be like near the water source in the shower. But that's about it. That's about it. After Janky World, they bombed the house so good we never saw another ant.
Oh wow,
never did.
They need to do that every season, because I feel like by week 2, everyone's talking about the damn ants.
I know. And the ants are happy. It's Big Brother season again. We're eating like kings. They're like so happy. But no, like when we were out in Janky World, the table got smaller. And we noticed a few things around the house. Different cameras were installed, mics, whatnot. And then we did smell the looming smell of a bomb. I grew up with cockroaches my whole life in apartments, so I know that smell. And you could smell it throughout the whole house, the smell of the bombs that had gone off, and exterminate or whatever. But we never saw another damn ant the rest of the time. It was great. It was fantastic.
See, that's good that they did that.
Basically,
but that's crazy. But yeah, watching you guys live and watching how some people are cleaner than other people, and then you got younger people, you got kids that are your kids' age, and and another thing with Big Brother, why don't they give you guys a little bit of closet space or some extra drawers, because there's just shit everywhere?
Oh, you know what? I felt like I had ample space. I was so worried about that. I really, really was. I was worried I'd have no room. But as people started leaving, I thought, oh, I'll spread out over here. I didn't really need to. I felt like that big closet they gave me with the 2 drawers.
Oh yeah.
Really, it was enough. But if people weren't putting their things away, I did think though that our season was one of the cleanest seasons. I thought everybody pretty much kept everything picked up. And I think it was a thing that I'll give Brooklyn props to, is that she runs a tight ship, and she's very clean. She was the one that when she left, we felt it, because she would clean the fridge. She would clean the floors. She was keeping that house in check. You know what I'm saying?
Those floors have to be nasty, Angela.
They were horrible. And the color, you saw every hair, everything. But on camera, you saw nothing. I watch it back looking for the hairs, the ants, anything. There's nothing. You don't see it. It's amazing. The floors they have now would probably hide everything, be perfect. But in any case, Brooklyn kept the house immaculate. When she left, you felt it. I did feel like our season, we had ample space in the closets and stuff, which I was worried, like I said, about. But there was plenty of space. I didn't feel like I was crammed in anywhere. And I would hide food. I would be just like Mama Fee. Girl, I'm telling you why right now. I'm spilling some tea. I have a little pet peeve about this. If you're going to open up a bag of chips, I don't want to see you reaching into it and doing this with your mouth and putting it on your saliva and then reaching back in and doing it. So when a fresh bag would get opened, I would dump some in baggies, and I would store them in my closet, so that way I could have fresh chips that were not salivaed out. And then when we would get the avocados, I would always take at least one. I asked the DR, can I do this? They said, sure. I would take an avocado and put it in my closet so I could have an avocado. Avocados.
Well, then we wouldn't have that moment where you're sitting there on the couch, sadly, like kind of crying, eating your avocado.
Yeah.
That was another iconic Angela moment.
Oh my God, that was a low. That was a low moment.
Because that was what is that when you found out that Quinn was saying stuff?
Yeah,
behind-
that was
yeah.
hard. That was so hard. So hard.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was hard. There'd be a lot I could say about that. And I talked to him about that. That was very,
Mhm.
very hard for me to deal with that.
I'm
but
glad you guys talked. That's cool.
yeah, I could see how that could look. I can. And I could see how I handled it. I could have handled it better. I
Mhm.
could. There's so many things that, you could handle better in life. And then you look back and go, oh, damn it. But when you're in there and it is a very intense situation, and you're with just these people that are strangers that you've tried to look at as family, it's just, it hits you and you're just like, oh shit, like, no, like that's not. And then it looks one way to somebody else because again, perception is everything. It was probably one of the lowest moments in my life outside of getting cancer. Probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go through it. I went through so many of the lowest lows of my life in there and then everything in between and then the highest highs. So honestly, you just got to put a bow around it and just call it a beautiful disaster because that's what it freaking was. It was a beautiful disaster. This 50-year-old woman got in there, lived her dream and was authentic and felt I lived in the moment. And I didn't try to put on good TV. I was just being real. And I think that I knew I would before going in. And I know that if I ever got the opportunity, I would do the exact same thing. I would just be real, just be authentic and in the moment and just live the dream.
And that translates. People read it. Like you read whether someone's doing that just to make good TV or if it's coming off fake or if it is truly that person being authentic or being vulnerable or, game.
I love that word vulnerable. That's exactly right. That's a great word to describe it.
And I think some of the best players are vulnerable and do show their vulnerability in the game. And because, with Big Brother and with, the fandom, I'm notorious for this. I love one person one week and then, it's I always complain it to like, or compare it to like sports. You might be really happy with your quarterback or whatever. And the next you're like, screw that guy. Like, how could he play that way? We're picking apart your plays,
Yes.
You have your favorites.
It evolves. Yes.
It evolves. It definitely evolves.
I'll be the first to say it. I love to not like somebody on Big Brother. I do.
Yes.
And if I'm that person, for people, they're vanilla villain, I'm happy to be that for them.
Did you ever think
people do that
you were going to, was there ever a worry in your mind that you were going to leave here and everyone was going to hate you?
I only felt that in the jury house. I think that was time of reflection for me. There was so much that had transpired. Again, the lowest lows, the highest highs, all kinds of things. And then you start, I don't know if you do this. I think most people do when you've been in an event or something, or you've said something to people and you've had long conversations. And then you get home at night and you've rested your head on your pillow and you're just thinking about all the shit you said. And oh my God, why did I say that? I hope they didn't take it that way. Well, that was me in jury house. I'm like, oh my God. Reality is that these cameras were on me 24/7. I was under constant surveillance. What did that look like? What did all of that look like? And I really so badly wanted to know. And yes, I did ask the managers of the house, like, oh my God, did you watch the show? Of course I asked them that. They were so professional. They never once even alluded to anything. They said, you'll just have to wait and see. This was their common answer. You'll have to wait and see when you get out.
That would kill me. I'd be like, just tell me, do they hate me or do they like me?
And then they would have their phones and they're on their phones and you're just like, oh God, a phone. You haven't seen a phone in 73 days. And here's them using their phones and, they're in the office and they've got their phones and you're just like, oh my God, I wish I had my phone. No, it's in there where you're starting to like, when I was voted out, Joleen, I felt like this immense, like almost like this semi truck came off my chest and I could breathe. And I just cried it out with Julie and I just let out whatever I was feeling on stage. I was probably over dramatic about it, but I just being very vulnerable and feeling it and getting into jury and just thinking about that. That was probably the main place where I thought about it. And after leaving jury and going to the finale parties, Leah and I hand in hand going into that gated bar. We went in the wrong way. We didn't come in the entrance where people were expecting us to. We didn't know. We didn't know. We're new to the world. We get out, we're holding hands. We go into this gated patio area, and then nobody was expecting to see us come in through there, but we did. And then they were just screaming our names. And it was in that moment where we both felt like we looked at each other like, what did we just go through to have this fandom? It is the oddest feeling in the world. It is people wanting to take pictures with you, tell you that you're iconic, your mother, your queen. I never even heard of an Angela stan, the Godzilla stuff, all these things, you know. I'm just somebody's mom at home. I'm somebody's wife that better get dinner on the table. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a woman at home. How is this my life? And it continues every day. If you go out in the world, you feel the love. And I'm not going to lie. I've had people come to me and say, you're a ruthless bitch or whatever. And I'm like, okay. You know, I had this woman, Joleen, my husband and I were at a doctor's appointment. She comes running across the hospital. We're at my husband's doctor's appointment. She's got a stroller. Her husband's going, wait. And she's running towards
a stroller.
She's running with her baby in a stroller. She goes, I just didn't like you at all. And I think you're awful. And I think you're a bully. And I think this and this and this and this. And I said,
casual.
I just sat there and I said, okay, that's great. So happy I entertained you. You know, what do you want from me? I was so proud of her, though, to come and say it to my face, because nothing pleases me more than somebody telling me how they feel to my face. So many of my castmates love to hide behind doors, talking shit on me about how I'm a big fat baby and all this stuff. I've given these people plenty of opportunity to tell it to my face. It isn't that I'm looking to like mend relationships. It's just tell it to my face, girl. Let me know how you feel, because I can give it right back. And I want to. Like, give me a review. Rubina.
I saw Rubina.
Yeah.
Do we have beef with Rubina? T-Core. Well, I saw there was a TikTok live or something. You guys were doing something maybe for charity in the winter. Yeah. And I went back to kind of try to watch the whole thing, but I was only able to see little clips. And it seemed like there was some tension between you and T-Core. And I guess I didn't notice Rubina, but what's going on there? You feel like they're just
like, I have no problem with these ladies. Like, none. I don't. It's just watching back live feeds. It's watching back what fans will send me about what they said. And like, did you know they said this about you? Did you know they called you immature, big fat baby? All these things are just that they can't stand you. They want you to go home, blah, 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 all these things. And I said, God, no, I didn't know that, because I always thought I had a pretty decent relationship with both of them. I didn't have any issues with either women. I still don't. It's just funny that I've given them an opportunity after now knowing and seeing and hearing with my own ears what they had to say about me, that they don't want to say it to my face, which is fine. You know, they don't have to. We're not looking to have a great friendship or anything. I don't have a problem with them. I just simply thought they'd want to let me know how they feel to my face. You know, have you ever don't have a
to
problem
them
saying it. I tried to talk to them about it on that live, which was probably inappropriate and not the right time. But again, you know, this girl has no freaking filter.
Yep.
and I was just like, do you have something that you want to say to me? And it was like, no, we don't. Basically, we don't. And so it was like, okay, well, you're not even willing to say what you will say behind closed doors about me. I don't understand. Like, just be honest. And I'm literally ready for it. Like, give it to me. Like, I don't care. I'm not looking to be your friend. I'm just giving you an opportunity to express how you feel about me to my face. And they don't want to do it. So, you know, I've just dropped it at this point. I don't care.
Have you seen either of them outside of that TikTok live?
Yes, I've seen one of them before. Yeah.
And do you just not interact?
I don't interact.
And they don't come up to you, and it's kind of just.
No. And it's okay.
I didn't know that the beef was that deep, but I don't know when did you and Rubina ever have beef?
So like, I don't have beef with her. She has beef with me. Like, she, you know, she's the one calling me out and saying these things about me. It was a lot in Janky World. I guess it was too tight of quarters. I think we were all getting on each other's nerves. And so, you know, I think it was there. And I did share things in there that maybe I shouldn't have, that are not on live feeds and stuff like that, like my revenge stories and stuff. And so maybe
Your revenge stories.
maybe we're a little frightened of Angela. So I don't know.
What did
But
you-
I'm like, buckle up, bitches, because you're gonna hear all about what I can do.
Oh, I want to hear these revenge stories,
Well,
Angela.
I can't
Oh my
tell
God.
you on camera, but I'd share it with you outside of it.
Okay. So maybe they're
One of the
just.
things that definitely caught the attention of the producers. I'll tell you that right now. Because
Oh,
it was
so you
like
said that.
it was like a 6-year revenge story that I think really captured the producers. Yeah.
Let's make this into a docuseries. Like, hell
Girl,
yeah. What if
He's sued for it now because it's already been, the jurisdiction of that is passed now. But yeah,
Oh my
I got my
God.
revenge really good. It didn't hurt anybody. Nobody was harmed in this revenge. I
Yes.
promise.
Mhm.
Nobody was harmed. But I
What's your
like
sign,
revenge.
Angela?
I'm a Leo girl. Rawr.
Oh yeah, your leader.
Yeah.
Leo leader. We need your full birth chart. We need like Sarah from Nerdtainment to come give us the moon and all the things, because I want to, let me write the script for this revenge show and you sell it, Angela, because this sounds like
You tell me
this-
who's done you wrong. I will give you the best revenge, thing you can do. Yes, I can.
oh my God. So were you then, with your feelings with Rubina, were you surprised her and Tucker? Because I didn't know they broke up until someone came in my live like a month or so ago and we're like, Tucker and Rubina are done. I was like, what? I hadn't been following it.
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't really following their relationship. I've been so busy at home. I've been online, but I don't stay online for very long. I'll
Mhm.
post a little something, or the kids will come into town and be like, oh, Mom, there's this TikTok, like you should do it, or you haven't done a live. You need to do a live. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Okay, I'll do it. But as far as like keeping up with everybody outside of the house, I don't really. And I didn't really keep too much tabs on that. And
Mhm.
I'm sorry it didn't work out for them, though, to be honest. Like I thought they were cute together. I really did.
Yeah.
It's too bad. And what a neat way to say that you met your significant other. And there's been so many neat love stories that have come out of Big Brother. Who knew that could have just been another one of those? And who knows, maybe they might get back together. You never ever know. It's,
Yeah.
this world is crazier things have happened. But I didn't keep tabs, and I don't really have like, I don't really have an opinion about it, whether, what happened, because I don't know anything. I don't. And I didn't
Mhm.
follow it. So, but I wish them both the best. So that's
Mhm.
the honest truth. I do. Even though I know she doesn't like me, I don't care. I do wish her the best. I wish
You're
T-Core the best.
still
I wish
sending
Lisa the
love.
best. I wish everybody the
Yeah.
best.
What's up with Lisa? Have you had any conversations with her? Did she? I have a feeling she probably held that shit pretty against you with the twit and the.
Yeah, she did, because I tried to be nice and say goodbye to her at the after party. I was like, bye, Lisa. And she just kind of rolled her eyes at me. And then I did try to say, I do feel so bad, Jolene, about her family home burning in those California
Yes, that's
fires.
horrible. Mm-hmm.
That is awful, awful. And I know what
Mhm.
it's like to lose everything. It's not a good feeling. It's awful. And I was really sorry that had happened to her and her family. And I did apologize to her, nobody really deserves to be called anything. But it was a game. It was a game, and I was there for it. And I was going to just be authentic and vulnerable and say whatever came to mind. But did she really deserve it? Probably not. And so I did tell her, I'm sorry for calling you a twit. Honestly, it was the most PG-13 thing I could have ever called her. She isn't deserving of being called any other names other than, maybe the Tinkerbell thing. But I really did want to extend an apology if it have hurt her, affected her in any way. And I really did mean it, but she didn't accept it. She didn't accept my apology. And
did she tell you straight up, like, I don't accept?
She just gave me a smirk and just nodded and never said, I forgive you, or it's fine, it was a game. She didn't really have thoughts about it, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yep.
She has good relationships with people in the house. She's not a bad person. She's eccentric and she's different. She's not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm not either. But I don't have any ill will feelings towards anybody, even Matt. Like, I have no ill will feelings towards anyone. Like, I don't. We just don't have to be friends. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't keep in touch with her. I don't keep in touch with a lot of people.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me about the Lisa situation, that you guys probably don't keep it two different worlds, and that's okay.
Very, very, very different people. Yeah. She kind of reminds me a little bit of a family member of mine.
Mhm.
For some reason, my family member and I get along just great. But maybe it's because she's been in my life forever and Lisa hasn't. I don't know. But I think I told Lisa
Yes.
that too, that she reminds me of a cousin. But yeah. And
Did you
we
tell
could have
her?
probably worked together. We probably could have, but
Probably could have.
yeah, but I think she was really seeing that I was going downhill quickly. And some of the things that I said, she didn't align with. And so I get it. And
Mm.
I was pissed about it, but I get it. And then, I think she saw that there was maybe a better side to take part in. And that was the stronger side, where you have, like a very athletic people that are going to win things. She was obviously going to win things. And so, she needed to cut her ties with me in order to not be aligned with me and make her game suffer. And in her eyes at that time, perception again is everything. And her game probably would have suffered for sure. Yeah.
What about Chemo? Do you keep in touch with Chemo?
I don't, unfortunately. I think unfortunately, I think that he sides with Rubina and T-Core.
Mhm.
It's sad because I really
Yeah.
do love him and I care about him. And I think about him all the time.
You know what though?
awesome.
With life, time. In time,
Yeah.
these might be things that you guys all laugh about.
It is. It really is so petty. It really, really is. Like, I think it does feel very juvenile in a way. It does feel like, okay, that's why I was like trying to give people opportunity to just tell me how they felt, because it's like,
Yeah.
let's just get this squashed. Whether I agree with what you have to say or not, tell me why you feel that way or whatever. Maybe I can't even help it, and that's fine. But at least say it to my face. Let's either figure this out, squash it, leave it alone, whatever we need to do with it. But at least we can maybe compartmentalize it and get it out of the way. And then, just go on with our lives. But it was sad that I feel like he maybe had, because nothing ever happened between the two of us. Maybe he had taken sides with the girls and decided that maybe I'm not somebody he wants to be in communication with. I don't know. Honestly,
Yeah.
I sent him a long text, like explaining to him how much I care about him. And like, it hurts me that we don't talk. But yeah.
Did he reply?
You're touching on the stingers. The stingers.
Sorry, I don't mean to. I hope it's not.
He did not reply. He didn't. My husband and I will have lengthy conversations over dinner or at lunch.
Because you really loved him. Like, you could tell you were very team
I do love
Chemo.
him. I do love him. I do. In fact, when we were in the house and I was probably going to go home, he was the only honest one with me that said, I'm like, just tell me, am I going home? Like, does it look like I'm going home? And I think he was in the dark on this because I wasn't going home. And he's like, yeah, you're going home. Basically you're going home. And it just like, he was the only one that ever I felt like was being really honest with me. And so when I thought I was going home, I told him, I just want to be friends with you outside of this house. I will kill me not to know where you're going in life, what you're doing. If you get married, if you have children, like whatever it is you want to do. Like, he aspires to be an actor. Like, I want that for him so bad, still do.
He'd be a good actor.
Yes, he is. And I'm so mad, by the way. Jolene, they clipped so many of the live feeds when we were doing like different skits. Like, they took away a lot of my Jennifer Coolidge stuff. They took away my Donna Nutella stuff. We were acting out like soap operas and stuff. Cam and I were married in this soap opera. I was
Oh, you loved that, Angela, getting married to Cam.
I was the Russian, honey with the big boobies. Like, I was all this stuff, and
we saw that on the feeds. You were doing it in the bathroom. Yeah.
We
saw your Russian. I thought it was
hilarious.
I thought you guys were being hilarious.
So, yeah, but there were so many, I guess my husband said that they didn't show. But yeah, Chemo is going to be fabulous. He has a little bit of he can sing, he can act, he can do a lot. He has a lot of talent, and I'd love to see him go so far. And I will watch from afar, and I will always admire. I'll always be a fan.
It's only been a year. Something tells me Chemo seems like the type that he'll come around.
Yeah, I hope so.
And if you are open to it, then maybe.
Always. My ear's always open.
Yeah. And maybe you guys will be in something together.
What? Say that
You never
again?
know. Maybe you'll be in something together. You never know. We're manifesting, Angela. You never
All
know. Maybe
right,
you and
let's
Timo.
do it. Let's do it. I love to dream big because you just never know where you land, you know? But
Mhm.
yeah, like I will just put this out there and they may or may not see this, but my door is always open to anybody that's on the show. They want to talk and hash anything out. If they don't, we can just leave it and let it lie. I don't lose sleep over it. You know, I have a very, very fulfilling life, and I'm one that's very excited about life, and I'll continue to just live it. You know what I'm saying? I've got a great family support system. I've got amazing friends that I've had since childhood. I'm good. I'm good, babe. If you don't want to, it's fine.
Yeah,
You know what
you're
I'm
missing
saying?
out. Then they're
And I just
missing
met,
out.
and I finally met you, Jolene.
I
You know,
know.
I feel like we're doppelgangers. Like, you know, we're one
I
of the
know.
same. We are.
Like, I was so grateful for you on the season because first of all, then I could do my Angela impressions. I had someone that I mean, because every season I like to pick my little people on Big Brother that I'm gonna, do little impressions and parodies of. And you
Oh,
just
I've
gave me
watched them. I've watched
so
them.
much material, Angela. It was like
Yes.
I miss that. I need you to go back on Big Brother. More material for me. It's a little selfish on my part.
You come with me. You come with me. Together, we will rule that house.
Oh, girl, you will be. I cannot work with Jolene. She is she is telling everybody off.
She's
This is
off
bad
her
for my
rocker.
game. Yeah.
Well,
You
can be
think
frenemies then on there, and we can
Yes.
fight to get each other out. What a show that would be.
we could have a secret final too, Angela, and pretend
Ooh.
we hate each other and call each other twits and
Let's
crazy
do it.
eyes. And
Yes,
I think,
Jolene, you have the
yeah,
craziest eyes. Yes.
right.
Yes.
How dare you? I feel bullied. And now I need to go make a 7-part podcast series about how I feel bullied. I do want to wrap you, Angela. I mean, I feel like I could talk to you forever. It does not feel like it's been 2.5 hours. And
Has it really?
yes,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I knew we would be best friends because I just knew it from the moment. But I want you to come back, and I hope you want
I
to
would
come
love
back.
to.
And
I would love to
well,
talk all things Big Brother with you.
yes, and after we wrap up here, I'll just chat with you briefly backstage. But I know a couple people might have had some. Are you open to any questions?
Oh, sure.
Just a
Yes.
couple?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
And
I can't
anything
see
you
how
don't
many people are here in the chat. How many people?
want to answer. We have 600 here, and let's see. Yeah, you had even more than that. I think some people might be getting ready to go watch the new episode. Like we've been talking.
I'm so excited. Let's go.
So we got so Rebecca's given thank you for the super chat and saying that
Aw, that's so
given us
nice.
I mean, people have been so excited for me to have you. People have been begging me because I don't normally, I like to just rant and be silly, and I don't have a lot of like a Big Brother people on my channel, even though I talk about it. That's just not really what I do.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's
I'm
been
honored.
yes, you are the icon I want to talk to. And in the past, I've talked to like June and Jessica Milagros and just some of
June.
my
Oh my God.
God.
Game. Woo.
She's just
And
she's the
Plants.
best.
I know. I love her.
June. She's so smart. Have you met June? Have you?
I
Because she doesn't
have
live
not.
in the country.
I haven't met her.
But man, if she would have come back for an all-star season,
Oof. Oof. Yes, girl.
I would have loved it. Let's see. Steven says Angela shut down the CBS plant rumors. Were you amazed at how many people thought you were just a CBS plant going from game show just because you were on Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal? I know we talked about a little in the beginning, but if they interview you, they do a pre-interview when you go on those shows, either that or when I was living in LA, they would send out, if you were an actor or comedian, they would give you tickets, like come, because they want entertaining people. So they're most likely going to pick, and you see a lot of like famous actors who were once on Price is Right. And with Price is Right, they're looking for the big personalities, and you were giving it.
Yeah.
Angela.
So I totally came by all that very, very honestly. So I lived in California, obviously, and I had access to get to these studios pretty easily. Always wanted to be on Big Brother or Survivor, but knew I couldn't take that time away from my family. It was still evolving, growing, and all of that. I can't be away. I'm a mom. And we were business owners at the time, but I could go to Los Angeles and try out for these daytime game shows. And so I did. And I very quickly learned that you just got to let your crazy out in front of the camera, and you could be chosen possibly and come as an original costume. And I did that. And I Googled and I YouTubed everything, because the reason why I even did it was because my sister loved Dancing with the Stars. I went online to try and get her Dancing with the Stars tickets. And then they said there was a wait list. And then I got reached out to by a company called On Camera Audiences. And they said, if you come to a live taping of Let's Make a Deal, and I'd never seen the show, but if you come to a taping, you'll be guaranteed VIP tickets to Dancing with the Stars. Who could refuse? So I quickly get on YouTube, figure it out. I go in pajamas and curlers in my hair. My sister goes in a shower cap, and we go as the realistic housewives of the OC. I lived in Orange County. I learned there, let my crazy out. I got on. It was so much fun. I won 20 grand. I said, when can I come back and do this again? And they said, every 2 years. So guess who went back on again and won? I did. Guess who went back on the third time and won? I did. So I've been on that show 3 times, won all 3 times. Then I said, let's try something different. Let's go to The Price is Right. Get on The Price is Right. I didn't win, but I did get up to the podium, which was super cool. And then from there, kids graduated. And then I said, you know what? Now's the time I can leave and go on to Big Brother or Survivor. So then I made that my focus. But in the meantime, I got reached out to by CBS through an email saying, do you or somebody in your household have a conflict in the house? And I was like, oh shit, I'm reading it out loud. My daughter's in the room with me, and she's like, give me your phone. And before I know it, she's messaging them back. We got a text that night. Can we call you in the morning? We're very interested in your family. What? Oh my God. All of Hollywood is here. We didn't know it was a Dr. Phil production. They all come to my house. My garage is filled with everything. I've got GoPros all over my house. It was maddening. It was crazy. I mean, it felt like the Hollywood studios were here. And Dr. Phil honestly did fix the relationship between my daughters and my husband and my daughter. It was phenomenal. My story is so strange because there's been so many things that have happened with CBS. I in no way am a plant. I am just a normal woman that has ambition. Can nobody just have ambition? And that's what I freaking have. And I still want to do more with CBS. I still have ambition, and I will continue to do that. And that's just because that's who I am. I'm not a plant like some people might think. And I thought it was so funny because when I was in the house, in the HOH room, and I don't remember who I was talking to, but I'm talking super fast because I know you want to wrap this up, Joleen.
Oh, no. Take your time. Take your time, Angela. You're the reason for the season. Come on.
Oh, stop it. But I was admiring Tucker and how well he was doing, how he came in kind of quiet as the jokester and then evolved to this beast, theatrical, young, improved Jim Carrey. And I thought, if he's not a plant, I don't know who is. But in the meantime, everybody at home is thinking that I'm the plant.
Yes.
Well, God, you know,
it was a whole thing.
That. So easy.
Everybody thought it. And then people started, we even over here watched your Dr. Phil episode because we had no idea. And so then I think that's when one of your daughters came into the comments and she was explaining to me, because we didn't know, we were just like, we were speculating of like where they are now, what happened, whatever. And then she gave a little update and I was like, oh, how cool. So then I gave the update to the viewers here. But yeah, everyone, I mean, there were a lot of people that were like, she's a plant. But yeah, if you go after these things, and like you said, when can I come back? Okay, I'll be back. And you're like, hello, Wayne Brady. How you doing? I'm back.
But do you know what's so funny, Joleen, and anybody who's watching and thought that too, is a lot of the cast, they are found from cast producers who are looking. So they're a recruit, you can argue that somebody who's recruited because of X, Y, and Z, they'd be an awesome player with these players that have, applied to make this amazing story happen, that they're a plant, because they were hand plucked. And even the people that applied were hand plucked too, because we are up against 30 to 40,000 other applicants. So in other words, everyone's a plant. Then everyone's a plant. Nobody's getting paid extra money. Nothing's happening like that. But if you look at it with that aspect, then I would guess that everybody is a plant. But
if all of the plants were as entertaining as you, bring on the plants. The problem is for a while, they were kind of looking at, the Instagram kind of, model-esque sort of thing. And then you get people who are just worried about their Instagram followers. And then that doesn't make for good live feeds or good gameplay. So if
my media was closed off until after I got out.
I noticed that. Yeah.
I bought for followers or anything like that. I love to gain followers, and I'd love to get to 100,000 because then you're like Kat Dunn, and you get all these beautiful trips you can go on just by taking a video and being like, I'm having so much fun on this cruise.
Right.
And it's all for free because you have 100,000 followers, but you have to qualify for that type of, gifting if you've got 100,000 followers, which who knows if I'll ever get there. Outside of that, I don't have a niche. I'm all over the place. I'm old and I just have fun. And so I just post whatever I feel like fucking post. Oh,
I love it. No, you can say fucking. I say it all the time.
Anybody doesn't know I'm potty mouth, but I do. But I just freaking post. I usually will put the freaking in there. I'll freaking post whatever the freak I want to, and I just have fun. So it's not.
You
about
have to.
followers.
You can't. Post what you think other people, they want that authenticity. That's why they follow Angela, is they want to see your journey and they want the authenticity. So let's get it, Angela, to 100,000 followers. Let's do it. Dame says, love you, Angela. Thanks for supporting Jolene.
Absolutely.
Jody, thank you so much.
Jolene. Oh yeah.
People always are like, you must hate that song. I'm like, I love it. It's Dolly Parton. Are you kidding me? It's amazing.
Love it too.
Thank you, Lazy Buddhist. I appreciate that. Dame coming in. Steven says, we got to know, was Chuck actually in the chat? He was.
Yeah, he was. He was. And the man has no social media. He doesn't do that kind of crap. He doesn't have time for it. And for him to do it is honestly, it says a lot about you, Jolene. Like, he loved it. You entertained him all freaking summer. He loves you. He will tell you, he'll be the first to say, you got him through with laughter and fun and all of it. Like, you were his crutch, honestly.
Aww.
And he appreciates you so much. My mother-in-law too. They both appreciate you so much.
That is so kind. We
so
loved
true.
having them in the chat. I mean, Chuck he was so sweet. He was like, Jolene, I will fly. He said in the comments one time, I will fly Angela out there to sit next to you. He was ready to make us besties. Steven says, okay, so we asked that one. Thank you, Ariel, for becoming a member. Steven says, Angela holds the record for the most times another house guest has used the POV on someone else in a season.
Yes,
Queen energy.
Yes.
Did that surprise you that people were doing that?
Oh, gosh, I couldn't believe it. I think the look on my face said it all.
Yes.
First time it happened with Tucker. I mean, I was just like, oh, what's happening? Oh my God.
So entertaining.
It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. And
no.
Yes. So surprising. I will hold that record proudly for as long as possible. Hopefully.
Forever. Steven says, do you know any SLC, any of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives or Housewives? We know you know Whitney, but do you know any of the Mormon wife ladies?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wait, well, now they'll probably want to know Angela. Dane says, thanks for inviting Angela to the show. She's a true BB legend. She really is. Thank you so much. Dane E-Ray says, I wish they would have a BB season for 50. We were calling it Golden BB because
I love Bachelor. Golden Bachelor. Holy crap. I love that. Oh, yes.
Can you pitch it to CBS for us, Angela, since you're on the inside?
Could you imagine? Give it to me. I would be so ready for it. Okay. I can see the competitions now. Crossword puzzle. I can see them now. Okay.
Crochet.
Kitchen. Why did you walk in the kitchen? What were you supposed to get? Huh?
Where are your glasses? On your head.
Where are my glasses? Oh, they're on your head. Oh, okay. Okay.
I would love to watch, like, honestly, because even when you watch Celebrity Big Brother US, a lot of the contestants, the celebrities are older and the live feeds are just better. The conversations they're having are better. And maybe it's because I'm getting older I appreciate that more. But I watch Love Island, and I know I'm going to get these, what they talk about, at that young age. But to, like, when you're watching live feeds, to have like to have older players, I feel like you just get some really good, interesting conversations that aren't revolving around like follower count and things like that. So
yeah, I feel like the house guest, poor Chemo, I gave him such an earful about my marriage. He was probably like, oh my God, woman, I am 30.
You did?
I don't need to hear about menopause and dating your husband again. Like, oh my God, woman. But yeah, Yeah.
No, you know what? Men do need to know because they need to know what we women go through. I take every chance I can to tell men, especially about my menstrual cycle and about perimenopause, because they need to understand that we are doing this all while going through all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're superheroes. No people like Zach who has perpetually lost his shirt. I think Zach, he's really, they always talk about women playing it up with their looks, but Zach has his tits out a lot. He knows what he's doing. He says, no crying over people you just met. Yep. And no more performative workouts. I think they should take the gym out of the Big Brother house too. This gym I like because they're gaming, but sometimes when they're outside lifting weights, I'm like, oh, okay, we get it. Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I think it makes for good TV for some of us that live vicariously and don't get to see that all the time at home.
Oh, got it. Okay, I see what you say. Amy says, can we hear about Angela's casting video? Also, Joleen, can you help me with my casting video and run my social media while I'm in the house? Obviously, I would love to, Amy.
I think I can't share it, but I had a revenge story that I gave. I think that was very helpful because they wanted to hear that over and over again. And I think that somebody that looks like me, talks like me, and appearance-wise, you would not think that I would do what I did. It wasn't illegal and nobody was hurt. I'll just leave that on the table. But I think that it made for really a juicy story and they loved it. And I think that's just what got my foot in the door, honestly. So I think give a good story. They love storytellers. They love good, give it all. They're tired of like the surface level crap. They don't want to know that you can dance to the music. They don't want to know how many followers you have. They don't want to know the broad strokes of that you're just a mama, you're a realtor, whatever. They want to know the dark, deep, and dirty. They want to know your highest highs, your lowest lows, and you can sprinkle in the in between and leave them wanting more. Like I didn't give them the whole story. They had to wait until they called me. And I think that really, adds to that allure. Like we need to know more about this woman. Who is she? Like, wow. Wow factor. It popped.
Always leave them wanting more. Jamie B says, I prefer the term tangled-eyed to crazy eyes. Oh, tangled eyes. Interesting.
That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, I could barely say that. Super Christian Legends says, my favorite house guest last season. Love you, Angela. Also, can you replace my mother? Will you be Super Christian's mother?
Oh my God. Do you know how many times people say I remind them of their mother? I have yet to meet my soul sister that is like me. I've been looking for her my whole life. I would love to meet somebody that is like me, outgoing, crazy, crash weddings like I do in Hawaii, dance. I have this accumulation. My teenage daughter, Lexi, at the time, she was a teenager. She has this literally accumulation of videos compiled of me in random times doing random crap that I do that I've been contemplating because I have these things that I gave to casting. I have all these clips and I'm thinking about posting them to my social media account.
You need to.
They're crazy funny. Like I serenade a drive-through worker. Like I do some crazy crashing the wedding and twerking in the windows at this wedding party. Like all the things that I have done, like it's insane. They've got videos of me dancing in the bar, like all these things. I'm thinking I should do. It'll be like multiple parts, but I should put it on my social media.
You need to, because we do have this clip of you dancing, Angela. Let me show you this.
Okay.
She's back. She's back.
Oh my gosh, that was so easy for you to pull up. Oh my God.
I'm telling you, you are all over.
That was one of
my soundboard is Angela and Mama Fee, like and housewife stuff and Bravo TV. Like you guys are my whole StreamYard soundboard because that is how entertaining you guys are. Okay, Angela was my America's Favorite Player vote to infinity, Steffi says.
Thank you. I am honored to be like, I think I'm top 3 or whatever.
We're top
honored.
3.
I am honored.
Very, deserving. Patty says, I'm living for this talk, ladies. I'm 49. We are wise beyond. Yes, I am wise beyond. Mother to a fault and wise beyond. Laura and Christy say, hi, the lean team had your back 100. That's what we call ourselves over here, Angela. The lean team. I have a question. Was the BB Cruise as bad? We heard bad things about the BB Cruise.
Oh, and it was just the promoter. It was the promoter that was all bad. I think everything, the guests, the the Big Brother people, we were all fine. It was just the
Mhm.
promoter. He just has a very, I don't want to get sued or anything, but he just didn't know how to handle his business right. And so a lot of us are going to boycott anything that he has
Got it.
to do with cruises. But on the upside, Janelle is doing a cruise in 2026 in November.
She's organizing it?
She's organizing it.
Get
She
it, Jamie.
is heading it up because she knows what it's going to take to put together an amazing cruise. And I am so excited for this. She's got some really great people that already are like on board to go. And so people, I think I know she has a Facebook page called Big Brother Cruise 2026, I believe is what it's called. But it's on Facebook. And she manages that page and she will put all the info there as she gets it. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm telling you, it was utterly the most exciting thing I have done in so long. Like, it is so fun to go and commingle with other house guests and have like-minded Big Brother fans around. It is just so much fun. We got to dance together, eat together, hang out together at the pizza joints, like just all the things by the pool. It was great. Anybody who loves Big Brother the way that I do, you need to go on this cruise. It is going to be so much fun. And anyway,
It seems like they had so many great BB players on the last cruise. And yeah, adding Janelle, that should have always been Janelle planning it, because I feel like
I know. She has so many great ideas on how to make it a better experience. And it was already a good experience, but to make it even better and over the top, some of her ideas are just so, so good. I think people will get a huge bang for their buck. And plus, you're on an ultimate beautiful luxury cruise. Who wouldn't want to go? Like, it's
I bet Janelle loved hanging out with you and meeting you and talking with you.
Jolene, I got to tear up that dance floor with that woman, and she's lovely. She's absolutely lovely. She's
really is.
much fun. She's just a lot of fun, and she's so classy, and she just got it going on. And I knew she would when I knew it when I met her. She was going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, and you two together. I mean, I know what Janelle's saying, that they would target her, but I feel like if she ever came back and there was a season where she had enough support in the house, if let's say you're there, Rachel's there, I mean, when Janelle and Kaser are together, when they were together again I was so emo about them being broken up yet again. Angela, I made a freaking video with music, like a 12-year-old. I was like, I mean, two of like BB6 was my season that I was like, okay, this is the show I'm riding with, like, for the rest of my life. Like those two players in particular. So, and Janelle is just, she's kind to, us Big Brother fans and creators and stuff. So
she loves everyone. Honestly, she is so humble and she has every right not to be, but she's so humble and she's such a good person. And I got to spend, the equivalent of 3-4 days with her off and on. And it was just so much fun. And I know that she has so much gratitude for the position that she's in, and she's earned it. She's earned her position to forever be BB Queen. Top. Like, she's up there. She's top notch. And I'm just so fortunate that I got to meet her and hang out with her. And she hung out with everybody. Like, she was friends with everyone that came on that cruise. Like, she really put in the time to get to know people and talk with them. And as I did, as everybody did. But you'd think somebody in her social status that she, maybe wouldn't have to do that. She could just take pictures and smile and wave. But no, she just got right in there, danced the night away, and had so much fun with everyone. And I think that's what makes her so remarkable.
I love to see that. Well, I'm partial to her because she's from Minnesota, so we're Minnesota girls. So I always was just like, oh, Janelle, she's so great. So I love that you two have came together. And I know when you were on the show, like cheering for you. And then Rachel, she was on your cruise too, right? And that's right before she's about to go on.
I got their digits.
You're so cool.
It's like, what's on my phone? Oh my God. I'm so lucky.
You're going to be able to text Rachel after and be like, girl, let's talk about this.
Yeah, I could. I've reached out to her already a couple times. It's fun.
I love that. John says, for real, Angela, was the chemo vote planned with Chelsea and MJ voting Joseph out and you voting differently to hide your alliance with the girls, possibly a Chelsea manipulation?
No, it was not. That was a hard situation, honestly, because I thought the whole house was voting one way, and T-Core went to Chelsea to beg for the life of chemo. And I asked, T-Core came to me and said that, and that Chelsea was on board to save him. I went to Chelsea shortly before the vote, and I asked Chelsea, did T-Core come to you? And she did this. Votes were going to stay the same. So again, a very good play on her part, because it made me look like a jackass again by voting out somebody that I loved and wanted to align with. And then Joseph goes home. Here's the thing. Leah put that veto around my neck. My alliance has to be to the person that saved my ass in the game. And she wanted me to vote with her, both for Quinn and for Joseph. And, I had my moments with Joseph, but I have always cared about Joseph. I really, really, it didn't look that way, but I did. Just because he's so real and honest and he's kind. So really, he is kind. So my allegiance was always to Leah at that point, because she gave me a veto. Nobody else was giving me a veto and saving my life. So if it meant that in the game that I had to, vote against somebody I thought the whole house was going to, and my ally, my number one ally who's proven to me, of course I'm going to vote that way. It wasn't for any other reason other than that. And I felt so jaded when I learned that everybody else, Chelsea and MJ included, voted for, Joseph to go. It was hard to swallow, but it is the game.
Yeah, it is the game. Good question, John, by the way.
Very good question.
Terry says, my favorite was Angela sleeping and sees Leah and someone in the dark go into the back bedroom. Angela punched into the air 2 or 3 times and I cracked up.
I don't even remember that.
I'm trying to picture it, Terry. So Angela's sleeping. She sees Leah. You go, someone in the dark, go into the back bedroom. Angela punched into the air. Like, I don't remember that either.
Well, I'll tell you, my position where I slept in the house was quite weird, but you knew where I was sleeping. I knew who was going where at what hours of the night, because they weren't very quiet about it. I learned with my eyes shut their shuffles, who it was. I didn't even have to see them. I knew who was walking out of what rooms together. You know what I'm saying? I knew chemo's shuffle perfectly. I knew everyone's shuffle. I know the sound of their slipper or their shoe. I knew who was sneaking off and going where and what time and what hours. So I was always paranoid and on the lookout. Always.
Yeah, and you had the paranoia room, because you are so privy to where everyone's going.
Yes. I love the house now. Set up so much better. No more cringing, squeaking doors slamming. Oh, it was awful. I'm sure it was really bad for their sound system too.
Yes. And how about like the bunk bedroom? I love that little train bunk bed.
I love the whole thing. I love the whole house. It's so visually beautiful to look at. There's so much for them to get lost in, and tell me why they get every piece of furniture in this season has back support. Not one piece of furniture in that house had not even the kitchen chairs, you guys. I mean, not the outside furniture, not the couches. Everything was low, very modern, very beautiful, but nothing had back support. Not one piece. I'm watching these young people sitting in all these fully back supported, beautiful pieces of furniture that are built solid, and I got freaking no back support. I was always laying on my back. You'll notice I was always sprawled out, laying on my back.
Yes.
My back was always hurting. There was no back support.
Even when you were eating your avocado sitting there in the back of the couch you were sitting on, that was like a weird cuck couch. Like it was like pointed to the vest. It was really weird. And it didn't even go up half your back.
No, there was no back support. Absolutely none. If you look at the pictures of the house, there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing with back support.
Oh, well, thank God they do this season, because Will notoriously has a bad back.
Thank goodness for Will. Thank goodness. And if you were to invite me back, that is a must. I must have some suitable back support furniture for me.
Reasonable request, Angela. Christian asking again, can you be my white mother? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Jeremy, thank you so much for the super sticker. Pomegranate says, love your guts, ladies. Oh, that's so sweet.
Thank you.
Jess wants to know, Angela, what were you most looking forward to doing when you got out of the house besides seeing your family? And we love you.
Oh, thank you. I think freedom, touching the outdoors, feeling the outdoors. And I love to be outside. In fact, when I left Julie's stage, I saw the trees that I would look at when I was in the yard of the Big Brother house. There's 20 foot or more around that backyard, but you can see out in the distance the trees on the lot, and you just would I would watch them, as the seasons even changed and we were moving into like fall. I could feel it and I wanted to touch it. So when I got off of Julie's stage, they had a handler with me telling me I needed to hurry to the green room because there's interviews that need to happen. And I said, I looked back, we're in the parking lot at this point. I looked back at the trees and I said, can I go touch those trees? And she said, no, we don't have time. I dropped her hand and I ran to the trees and I hugged them
for you.
And I held them and I touched them and I cried and I just was like, and I could breathe. I get back into the green room and the producer's on there. I think it was Sean or somebody. And she goes, so I heard you ditched your handler and you went and hugged the trees. And I said, I sure the hell did. I sure the hell did. But yeah, I think for me, it was just for me getting outdoors and being outdoors is my thing. It's my thing. I ride my bike every night. I walk my dogs. I love to be outside.
When you live in Utah, and it's beautiful. Utah's beautiful.
It really is so pretty. Yes.
Even in the winter, because I visited Zion in the winter, and it was just lovely. I was like, oh, I'd go back in the winter. Like it's amazing.
It's such a pretty state. It really is.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Very gorgeous. Okay, so Carissa's asking, can you show her Matt singing to MJ? So we created this little thing last season. I still play it because it's the only thing that I like about Matt, and I'll play it for you here. And here you go, Angela. We'll do it for you, Carissa.
All right.
So we sped it up, and that is our little song we play, and we just added it to when MJ was getting her messages from home, so it looks like she's getting it from Matt on one of his cringy TikToks, but I sped it up, and so I was like, the sun on your skin, and that's one of our little sound effects that we play. So there you go, Matt. You got a little bit of clout there. Becca says, the collab we've been dreaming of. Thank you. Oh. Okay, so John comes back with, so not yours, but Chelsea and MJ's vote was planned on the earlier question.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it was planned. I really do feel like they just, Chemo's speech spoke to them both. Mm-hmm. And I think it was in those moments where they, I don't know. A part of me is like, why did Chelsea lie to me and say that T-Cord didn't come and talk to her? And then a part of me feels like they were maybe torn, but then chose to choose Chemo because of his story and because of what he conveyed when he was giving his speech of why he wanted to stay. So it's really, I feel like for sure MJ was not solid on what she was going to do. And then hearing his story changed her mind. On Chelsea, I'm up in the air. Only she can answer that. And I would actually love to, when I see her next, is ask her, why did she tell me T-Cord didn't come to her and ask to please save Chemo? And then she said that she would. And then, but that she told me that she's voting Joseph. So I don't know. I don't know.
That is, have you and Chelsea ever considered or done like a live together talking about your season and gameplay and things just together, the two of you?
No, I think I'm totally good with Chelsea, but I think that, I came off the show. I heard she was doing a live from my kids. I got protective. Chuck I had just learned about Chuck and things like that were going on. In fact, when she did that live, Chuck was actually in the hospital. So I was already over emotional, and I got on her live and I asked her, please not to talk about me and my personality in present tense. You can talk all you want about how I was in the house, but as far as outside of the house, you don't know me. We haven't got there yet. And so I was feeling really, oh gosh, what's the word? I just was feeling very protective of my feelings about that. And so I think, I'm over that obviously. And I did call her and apologize the next day about getting on her live and kind of calling her out for it. And I think she accepted the apology. We've seen each other since at different functions and things, but I think we're okay together. I mean, I don't know, because I've also seen some of the things that, have happened, and I don't know. I'm good with her. If she ever asked me to, I would. I think it's a relationship that needs working on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Mhm.
not, we didn't really have a relationship too much in the house. Not
Yeah.
like I thought we would. And
Mhm.
so after getting out, I think that it's just going to be a relationship that's going to need some working on. And I'm very, very
Yeah.
receptive and open to it.
I think that could be it could be interesting. Yeah, if that again with like time and things just
Yeah.
to talk about those things. But I do remember that live too when
Yeah.
you popped up. I was like, this is getting good. Like the post, because I look forward to every season postseason because when people finally start seeing
Oh,
what
yeah.
others were saying versus what your
Yes.
perspective was in the house versus after, and the drama starts because obviously people are gonna feel some type of way
Yeah.
about what was being said and clips being shown. And so I follow it I mean, I'd say for your season in particular had a pretty good postseason. Some of these seasons right away die off. Like,
It did. But also too, like, I'll go back to what I said too, is that I feel like it's juvenile of me to hold people accountable for things that they said inside the house. I'm more going to be wanting to hold people accountable for what they say outside of the house.
yes.
So if they have an opinion of me, they can go ahead and say it to my face. I'm okay with saying whatever I'm saying here, because if they call me up and say, why did you say X, Y, and Z? I'll hash it out with them. I have no problem. But if they don't and they choose not to, then that's whatever. But I'm putting it out there, and I'm just speaking how I feel. And if they want to talk to me, they can. But I don't have any issues with her. But I think it's a relationship worth giving a shot, and at least coexisting as housemates on the outside, and having a history together or whatever.
Yeah. The door is open. Not like
Always.
what Nene said. The door is closed. The door is open for Angela.
Yeah, the door's
So
open to everybody. It really is.
I love it. I love it. Kenzie says, you are TV gold, Angela. We miss you on our screens. We talk about this a lot, Angela, how we need not, I don't want to say another Angela, because then you're going to get these people that are like, I'm the new Angela. And it's like, no, you be the new you, but just, good, real personalities.
Yeah.
People willing to be themselves, play their game, show their emotions, but also, just be a person, be entertaining, but not with like rehearsed reads and things.
Yeah, I agree. I think it goes back to like just not wanting, just be authentic. And like you said, Jolene, vulnerable, and not worrying about the followers or the loss of followers.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to advance in, any other way other than to be here because I'm living a dream. And that I think that's what resonates with people, is that I was there authentically wanting to live a dream. It wasn't for any other reason. So
we never thought Angela Murray was on there going, well, I'm going to check how many followers do I have? Like, you didn't ever give that off. And I think for New School Big Brother, it was becoming that way a few seasons with quite a few house guests, and the fans were picking up on it and going, oh, this is not what we want to watch, because you even hear that with Kelly. Bless Kelly. I really want, I had such the high hopes for Kelly because she's from South Dakota. She's got the little accent like I do,
I know.
and so she's like, oh yeah. And she's so excited.
I'm a farm girl.
Yeah, she's a farm, but she's went to all these countries. I'm like, get it, Kelly. But now she's like, I think, yeah, I'm going to be America's favorite player. How many followers do you think I got? And I'm like, oh, Cal, calm it down here. Calm down, Cal. She's fallen into the trap. Christian says, Angela, you mentioned Leah and her vote, but you forgot Tucker and his veto to you too. I bet she didn't forget it. Iconic moment in the season. Okay, I'm gonna go watch tonight's episode. Thanks, Christian. That was iconic.
Yes. It will forever be a moment in my life that I look upon and just feel like it was like a shining moment of like an aha, how the hell? Like, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Like,
and your facial expressions, Angela, was like,
yes, it was like
not me. What are you doing? Take it. Like, it was such
probably
good TV.
much the same when I was told I get to be on Big Brother. I didn't believe him. For a minute. Even in Sequester, I thought there's no way I've got to be an alternate. Like, there's no way.
And they're like, no, girl, you're about to be the star of the season. Get ready.
No way did I think that. I had no intentions of going in there and doing anything that I did. I knew I would speak and be vulnerable and all that stuff and say what was on my mind, but in no way was it planned or executed in the way of, this is going to make great TV. That just never even crossed my freaking mind. And I'm being
'Cause if-
so straight up with you about that.
No, I believe that.
100%. This was just, I didn't want to go home next week. And I wanted to put a target on somebody else who I thought had the whole house around his finger.
Yeah. And I think if you would have actually been performative and planned all this stuff, you wouldn't have got the great response you got from the audience, because we would have go, oh, boring. She's trying to do this. But we were like, no, we're like watching this woman. She is overtired. I get overtired. He does have crazy eyes. Like she, you know what I mean? So it was relatable. John says, promise, last one. Don't worry, John, you have some good questions. I think they planned the vote in the HOH bathroom. I know it was Quinn's HOH. See the notes from eviction and post-eviction day. Oh.
Ooh. When he says they, was he talking about Mackenzie and Chelsea?
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying, because his last one mentioned those two. Oh my goodness. Now, have you been able to, did you watch your whole season already?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you watch like live feed clips, because obviously we were not in a place where we can go back anymore. We used to be able to like watch all of the live feeds.
Yeah, I've watched as much as I can, and I still see new things every week. I'll see something new I hadn't seen before, or somebody will send it to me and I'll be like, oh, thank you. Like, that's so good. Or a photo. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because I'm a scrapbooker. We're in my scrapbook room right now. And I'll be like, oh yes, I freaking love that. I cannot wait to put together my Big Brother junk journal. I cannot wait.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, Angela, I've had so much fun with you. We are just hit 3 hours. The episode has started on the East Coast.
Oh,
so I know we just had so much fun. Time flies. But you guys, make sure you go follow Angela on all the things, because Angela, you're on TikTok.
Yep.
Instagram. Your do you have 2 different handles, or is it the same handle for TikTok and Instagram?
I think it's the same. It's just Angela_Murray_Utah Realtor or something like that.
Okay. I'm going to put it all in the description. So it'll be really easy for you guys to, if you're not already following Angela, to just go and follow Angela. And we're going to invite you back, Angela, because it was just so fun.
I would love to. Let's get a little deeper with these people. Let's see what transpires over the next few weeks. Let's stay in touch. And let's just go off. Let's have fun with it.
Oh,
I think impersonations like nobody's business, babe.
Well, girl, when we saw the Coolidge impersonation, I was like, bring it, Angela.
Oh, don't get me started, Jolene.
It's so good. Do you watch White Lotus?
I love White Lotus. I want to be in White Lotus. Oh my God.
Hello. Survivor. He was on Survivor. Wait, you got connected.
I know. I think he's going back. I think he's part of the 50 thing.
Oh, that would make sense. That would make sense.
I think that he is. That's so cool.
It's such a good Coolidge. Okay, you stay right here, Angela. Okay. You guys, I have to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Thank you for joining, Jolene.
And thank you to Angela. Thank you to you guys. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the fabulous questions. I'll be back later tonight to go over tonight's episode. But until then, you guys, like I always say, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Bye.